Hi, everyone. So it's been a few days. After a while, I'm like, you know what? I don't even have a good reason this time. Sometimes I get so tired. As y'all already know, I'm originally very fairly introverted. So sometimes, let me see. What do y'all think about this lighting? I feel like this is okay, I guess, maybe. Sometimes I feel like without the lighting is good too. You know what I mean? Like it's like not too bright. Anyways, y'all, so it's been a while since I feel like it's been a while, but technically I guess it hasn't been that long. It's been like maybe like a few days, but I like so much has been happening in that time span. It's insane. Hi, Guilty Angel. Hi, Miss Markin. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining. So much has been happening in the media. It's totally crazy. I think for the opening for today, we're going to talk about a few things. I mean, something that literally just came up is the fact that Trump is saying, from what I hear, Trump is saying that he's willing to issue out a pardon. From what I'm hearing, Trump is willing to issue out a pardon to Dusty Dee. So that's going to be intro number one. And then we're going to take a look at another intro because y'all know, like I have my my vlog channel, which I haven't posted on the vlog channel in a little while. I'm just happy I got it started because YouTube is one of those things where you kind of have to take one step at a time. And like, if you want to start the channel, at least get it started type of thing and like fill it out. But this issue is becoming more and more of an issue when it comes to, I don't know what to say to women anymore. Like I just feel, so there was a conversation. The video that I posted a comment on was about married couples, I guess, and it was talking about marriage, and it was talking about how, a lot of people in the comments were saying how, people are no longer getting married because there's not enough support for the children. There's so much weight, there's so much load. I forgot to post in the community section, y'all. What is going on right now? I forgot to post this in the community section. So people were saying right then and there, let me see. Okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and post this. I'm going to go back to posting it like as a regular picture because, okay, there's too much. Like there's so much in my head. I'm like, I got to organize my thoughts because I like, there's so much I want to tell y'all and so much I want to talk about. And it's like, no, you finish this one before you start that one. And I'm like, I can't, fit it all the words won't come out. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to post this as we're doing the intro and getting started, right? But back to that video that I left a comment on. So we'll finish that first. It was talking about marriage, y'all. So the video was talking about marriage, and women were all up in the comments section. One of the comments was saying something about, it didn't say anything about women in this particular comment. I'll probably share my screen. In this particular comment, it didn't really say anything about women. It was just saying that there's not support for married couples when it comes to children anymore. And so that's why a lot of people are choosing not to have children. It was saying there's not a lot of financial support. This is what the comment was saying. There's not a lot of financial support for married couples anymore, or just for people in general anymore. So a lot of people are choosing not to have children, right? So I posted a comment and I said, well, I'm not understanding this, okay? I have been known to be a little bit controversial. But I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, if I'm processing it and it's not computing, what am I going to sit there and lie? It's not computing. It's not computing, right? So I left in the comment section. I said, well, I really don't understand because, you know, there's all these tax breaks, all of these like financial breaks that are given to married couples. Because you're married specifically, you get tons of tax breaks. You get tons of like additional benefits that single people do not get. And yet you're sitting here claiming that there's no financial help for married people. I don't get it. That's what I said. I said, I'm not understanding, because how do you feel like you're not getting enough financial support, right? And then someone came in and responded to my comment and said something like, so you feel like, and it was a lady, I think. So you feel like women get benefits for their kids from being married? Y'all, when I say that irritated me, like, because I already said, like, my patience, not that great from the get-go, that was so irritating to me. So I had to, like, I responded to her, nothing too drastic, but I basically was like, I said to her, okay, how many times do I have to tell y'all to stay away from this marriage thing? Yet women keep flocking and flocking to get married to the male species. Now you're trapped in a marriage with a male species, complaining that you get no financial benefits. How many times do I have to tell y'all, warn y'all against this marriage contract that you keep getting yourself trapped in? And then you willingly get yourself trapped into the marriage contract, and now you're looking to single people to fork out all this cash in addition to, right? That was literally the bulk of my response. It wasn't really anything like that. Was pretty much it. Like, the thing about marriage is, ladies, especially with this news that we're getting, and let me know if you feel differently, if you think differently, let me know, right? But especially with what's happening with Dusty Didi, right? We can see what's happening with Dusty Didi. We can see that now apparently Trump has said that he might go ahead and forgive him for what he did. Okay. And we all know, another thing to keep in mind, ladies, is that a lot of people are saying, no, it's just domestic violence. Notice how in the Dusty Didi case, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it a domestic violence case. Okay. So as I process through this and I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking, so if they're trying to go from the RICO charges and they're trying to make it a domestic violence situation instead, that tells me, when I think about that, that tells me that, oh, okay, no one really cares about women. No one really cares about you, because that means they don't, to them, the way they view it, domestic violence is not that big of a deal. It's not as big of a deal, right? So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get those charges reduced so that it's not as bad. What are you talking about? It's just domestic violence. What's the big deal, right? So this is one of the main reasons I get on here and I say, look, like, this is not a game. You trap yourself and with the wrong male and you end up in a DV situation. No one will stand up for you. Even women are hating on Cassie just because that girl is probably one of the most gorgeous girls I've ever seen in my life. Jealousy, right? They're not standing up for her. They're hating on her. They're saying a lot of hateful things about her. That's why I say we are coming to a time, we are at a time where, and I've made videos about this, and I feel like when I first started talking about it, a lot of people were probably looking at me like, no, she's nuts. What is she talking about? But I've made, hold on, y'all. Let me see what's going on here. Even I've made lives about how police is an illusion, right? So y'all might have caught the lives. Those lives, I think, are now in the membership section. So check out the membership section if you want to catch up on those lives and support the channel as well. Because thank you so much to all the members. Love you so much. Like, especially I have members that, have been there from dang near the beginning, right? So it's very encouraging. It's one of the things that motivates me the most to come up here, because YouTube doesn't really pay anything. So when I'm looking for like, oh gosh, do I want to do this today, especially being introverted, I look at the members, and especially the ones that are tier 2 and up. It's very motivating for sure. Hi, Barbed Wire. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Miss Markin. She wouldn't be in this situation if she stopped believing in fairy tales of romance marriage. And we're talking about, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We're talking about, because I don't want to be I'm going to make the disclaimer, right? I come on here, and when I come on here, a lot of what I talk about is trying to get women to understand the reality of what this world is and the situation, right? Like literally, I even go as far as saying, okay, look at it from the standpoint of you are prey. Okay. If you're prey, I am prey. I'm not going to sit there and drive myself over to the predator. It doesn't make sense. That's how they view women, right? So I've been saying this over and over again. And the thing is, now we're looking at several cases, several women. They keep coming out of the woodworks, y'all. Cassie. Now we're going to take a look at the Wizard Liz. Y'all, that whole situation is insane. The Wizard Liz, that's like the main thing that we're going to be talking about today is, y'all. So now you want to be single. Now all of a sudden you see why it's important to be independent. You see why it's important to like not care about what the males want you to, what words the males want you to use to describe yourself. Oh, okay. So we're going to take a look at all these things. Actually, I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry. I am on the Wizard Liz's side. Like, and I leave comments everywhere. Y'all might run into some of my comments, because when I'm bored, y'all, because I don't work a typical 8 to 5. So I work from home. I have some businesses. So whenever I'm like sitting there like, what do I feel like doing? Childish in the comments section. Okay. I'd be super childish in those comment sections. So you might see a few. So I'm on her side because, again, the males are complete degenerates. Like, I keep saying that, like, it's like I feel like no one believes me. Like, I feel like when I come out here, especially when I first came on, they were like, man, she's kind of harsh, huh? Am I? Because guess what happens when you're an introvert? That's a lot of time to think. You think a lot, right? Like your mind is always going, right? So we're going to talk about that whole situation with her. We're going to talk about like, this male, there were like a million red flags. Are you freaking serious with this? Right? Are you serious with this? It's still his fault, but am I surprised? No, I am not surprised. Am I shocked? Yes, I am very, very shocked, because it's just like the males, they just don't stop. Like, I don't even have the words. This lady is 4 months pregnant. I'm not even going to front. I know a lot of people might be against this, but I'm not going to front. I did not know that you could get rid of like a pregnancy 4 months in. Did y'all know that? Apparently there are places you can, because she says she's 4 months pregnant. Apparently there are places that you can go to get rid of the pregnancy 4 months in. I didn't know that. Would y'all do it? I think I would, because I'm going into the meat and bones. We'll talk about why. I think that that's something that I would do. I know it's a touchy subject, and a lot of people, there's a lot of women that would definitely feel differently and stuff, but let me see, y'all. I've been trying to post this for like 15 minutes and still I have yet to post it. Anyway, y'all. So we're going to be talking about that. But I think the biggest thing that just hit me is the fact that Trump is saying that he's going to forgive. He's going to pardon this guy. He's going to pardon Dusty Dee. Now he might mean it. He might not mean it. Who knows? There's no telling. But from what literally just came out a few minutes before I got on the live, people are saying that Trump is talking about issuing out a pardon to Dusty Dee. And that just tells you where the whole country is going as a whole, right? So yeah, Guilty Angel. Hi, So King B, thanks for joining. Yeah, hi, Looney28, thanks for joining. Yep. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay. So apparently that's where things are going. Trump is talking about he will probably issue a pardon to Dusty Dee. Okay. Think about everything that we've heard so far about him putting his hands on women, beating women to the ground. No one, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, they don't care. They do not care. So the only solution to that is to not mess around with males in that capacity. You have to have your own space. You have to have your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when it comes down to it, I made lives talking about police is an illusion. So this is not new to me. This is something I saw years ago, because again, when you're an introvert, all you do is think. You're always thinking. This is what I was describing. I made at least 2 or 3 lives about that topic. Police is an illusion. Okay. They do not care about you. Police is like HR. Okay. They're there to protect the system, not you as a woman. If you get yourself stuck in something and you don't find a way out for yourself, you might as well, you're kind of screwed. You really are. That's why I'm saying, especially for the youngins, right? Things keep coming up left, right, center, and it becomes more and more easy for me to be like, oh, well, remember when, like, the member berries, I had to cut the member berries out of the last live because YouTube doxed me for having the member berries clips in there. But I think YouTube has been doxing my channel a lot when it comes to like suppressing it. And I've noticed that they're suppressing a lot of the other feminists. They perceive us as feminist content. I noticed that they're doing a lot of that doxing and all the other channels as well. So that tells you as well, look, they don't like women. I was going to say they don't like you because I want to sound like I'm youngins. You got to understand, they don't like me either. I got a double whammy. I say that all the time. Look, double whammy. Okay. So they don't like women, period. Okay. They're working to try to suppress the content. It's right in front of our eyes. So I made that live. Every time I'm able to be like, oh, remember when I was talking about police is an illusion? And when I was talking about that, I just felt like, I don't even know if these people are understanding what I'm saying. Like, they're probably thinking she's nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but I feel like I have to put the information out there. There might be 1 or 2 youngins that see it and they're like, oh, that's why I'm being treated in that way. It's not just all in my head type of thing, right? I've made so many lives talking about like police is an illusion. Okay. So now we have Trump talking about issuing a pardon to Dusty Dee. All the ladies that he put hands on, beat down to the ground, leaving kids left, right, center, popping out kids, having those kids do who knows what. There's no telling what he's been having these kids do behind the scenes. No one cares. No one cares. He's just gonna forgive it all from what he's saying. Now, Trump fabricates a lot of information, so we'll see. But this is what he's saying. The fact that he even, has the audacity to say it, being that he is the president, tells you where women stand in this hierarchy. Okay. There's no point. When I say there's no point, there's literally no point. This is why I've been saying, if you want to have a roster or deal with males, you're better off dealing with males just like males deal with women. Keep your roster, have like 2 or 3, don't sleep with any of them, and if you want to have them pay for stuff, you can do. That's the only exception that I found, because so many women are so desperate. It's like they can't, if you tell them just don't, they won't be able to do it, So that's really the only exception that I found. And you can't like not have your own stuff. It's just not possible. Even the ones that are doing it for money are doing it so they can get the money so that they can end up getting their own stuff at the end of the day. They're doing it just to end up getting their own stuff at the end of the day. So you see how the end goal is always independence. It's always independence. The end goal is always independence. But what they don't want is they don't want you to be able to use the word independent, even though that's like literally what it is. Even like the sprinkle movement, all the ladies that are like trying to find males so they can get money. If the end goal that they're trying to teach to these ladies is to own your own stuff, it's independence. Otherwise, you'll find yourself in a very, very interesting situation, right? Anyways, that's what I think. Let me see, y'all. Okay. So I just posted that. So anyway, that's what's going on with the Dusty Dee situation. It's a mess. It's a mess, right? Now, let me share my screen on the comments. I'm surprised that I'm still getting these types of comments from women, because it's totally insane. Y'all let me know what you think about that, because I always think about that, and the way we get taxed as single people for kids that aren't even our kids is insane to me. And I feel like maybe back in the day, you might have been able to see how it might be worth it for us as single people. But nowadays, I just don't see how it's worth it for us. A lot of parents are so unbearable. They're so unbearable. And then a lot of women will say things like, well, we just need a village, implying that it's the women's duty to take care of your snotty kids. Meanwhile, God forbid you try to discipline these kids that they're popping out left, right, center, and then they try to issue lawsuits and who knows what else, on you. So you don't even have the discretion to discipline these kids, but yet they want help. They want your help as a single woman taking care of kids that aren't even your kids. In today's society, in my opinion, it does not work. It cannot work. So I feel like ladies need to just kind of get a grip with reality. The reality that we live in today does not support that assertion, right? Now, let me see. Let me share my screen. Oh, wait. So what I was going to show y'all was that little comment right here from that lady. So she was like, well, are you talking about women or something? She said something. I don't even remember what she said. Let me see if I can find it, though. Oh, yeah. She's like, women get 10 times more. Maybe I'll just take a screenshot of it, because I don't know how to share it without like. Yeah. So anyway, so this is the first thing I want to make sure that we look at, because when you're thinking about this marriage thing, you got to understand that these marriage contracts are not in place for you, right? These marriage contracts are not in place for you. So you don't complaining about the fact that you're not going to get anything out of it. Well, yeah, you're not going to get anything out of it. That's what so many women are out here telling you and trying to explain to you. That's what we're trying to explain to you. You know what I mean? Yeah, and this comment didn't even say anything about women, so I don't even know what she was talking about. Yeah, other women warn you about marriage all the time and you don't want to listen. You get yourself trapped there. Now you want to go everywhere complaining to single ladies like we're supposed to be able to help you somehow. We can't help you with that. That was my response to it, you know. Let me share the original comment though. Okay, here we go. Girl, that's so small. Oh, I'll read it to y'all though. Okay, so my original comment is, this is confused. Oh, there you go. This is confusing. Isn't that what all the incredible tax breaks that you get is for? You get 10 times more benefits than anyone who's single. So what is this complaint for? It makes no sense. So nothing crazy on YouTube. The only time I go super intense is when I'm talking to a degenerate male species. Then I really go in, because those males, I don't know why, they really just irritate me on another level. The males just irritate me on another level. So that's basically, you know, that's my thought, and that's still my thought on that. Let me see what y'all are. Yep. Mm-hmm. So King B says, you are paying for the kids of Jesus. Mormon. Okay, I didn't know for Mormons, girl. You know, there was a Mormon guy in high school. They're interesting. They're interesting characters. I'm not even gonna super hairy. It was like Chewbacca. Like, he was so hairy, like from head to toe, like hairy arms, hairy legs. I guess maybe they have a thing with shaving. I don't really know what the rules are, but that just reminded me of that kid, because everyone would you know, bring him up because he was like the only Mormon there in high school. But I wasn't a cool kid in high school. So I was like a super nerd. I was in a ton of sports, but I was like not a cool high school kid or anything like that. I just remember everyone would talk about that. But yeah, so they want you to pay for so King B. I can't, y'all. So they want you to like pay for all this stuff for all these kids and stuff. And you know, one of the arguments that I hear is, I do hear the argument a lot. Let me pull up the main topic for today, which is the Wizard Liz situation. Wild, insane, forever, right? So let me go ahead and pull that up right here, because I have it. Here we go. So we're going to take a look at red flags. We're going to see what's the situation here. And it's good. It's good for if y'all join the lives, because the intros are usually going to have important information. And the thing about whenever the lives are posted afterwards, if you weren't part of the actual live, sometimes you're going to miss stuff, because YouTube is doxing a lot of things. They're literally they'll literally demonetize a lot of things. And so then they make the content creators go back and delete a lot of parts of the actual original content. So if you're not a part of the actual live, there's a good chance you miss the original content. So just make sure to keep track of the community. And let me present my screen so we can get into it. Let's get into it. Okay. So make sure that you keep track of the community section so you don't miss the original live, or sign up for the membership or the Patreon. So anyway, y'all, what was I saying before that though? Was I still talking about kids, or was I talking about something else? Girl. I don't want to pay for your kids. That's the moral of the story. But but we're being forced to. But I think the moral of the story when it comes to the whole kids situation is that, like, don't go in as a woman if you're wanting kids. Just understand that, unfortunately, society, it's weird, but society lowers your value when you have kids. So if you are going to have kids, make sure you're doing it because you really, really want that, not because of anything else. Because from society's perspective, because society is built off of a hierarchy and society is built off of a patriarchy, they don't like kids as a collective. Okay. And so you're not going to get additional support and all this other things. Another thing to keep in mind, because one of the arguments I hear the most from women is, well, back in the day, there was a whole village. Back in the day, there was a whole village. No, there wasn't a whole village back in the day. No, they needed the kids to work in like the farms and things like that. And not only that, it was never free. It wasn't like random women were just coming and helping take care of your kids for free. No, it was scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's how it was. That even before money existed, before the paper money, paper currency existed, that's how trades were made. That's how trades took place. So paper money just made it easier. Now we're diving into history. To keep it kind of short so we don't derail into a different area here. But paper money just made it easier for transactions to be done, right? But paper money did not invent transactions in and of itself, okay? Humans have always conducted transactions, and the way that they did it was basically you scratch my back, I scratch your back. It was never free. Women were never walking around here taking care of your dusty kids for free. I'm so sorry. I mean, I hate to say it because the ones that ask for that are literally like the dustiest parents alive. I'm so sorry, but how can you look at women with a serious face and make such a silly request? It doesn't even make sense for you to ask for us to give a crap. This is why I come here warning women, understand that is the case. So get your ducks in a row. I am not in favor of having kids super early. I'm not in favor of that whatsoever. I think wait, take your time, build something, build enough so you're comfortable. You don't have to be rich, because the richer you are, the more it looks to me like these rich people are complete psychos. They're like complete psychopaths, So you want like maybe an in-between comfortable spot, because I don't know if it's the money that gets into their heads or if it's just the way that they are and the money just gives them an opportunity to be their real selves. I don't know, but I feel like it's a cautionary tale. Like, maybe the millions and millions and millions isn't the solution and isn't the way to go. It might just be comfort, being comfortable, having what you need, having resources and all this other stuff, because I don't know. I don't like these rich people are complete psychos, Anyway, y'all. So just keep that in mind. Like if you have a kid, no one's going to help you with that kid. And unfortunately, no one cares because we live in a patriarchy. We live in a hierarchy. Now, this lady that we're about to take a look at and we're about to talk about, the wizard Liz, she's 4 months pregnant with a Dusty's kid. Okay. And her main thing, y'all, she literally goes around, y'all. This is better than Netflix. I told y'all I canceled my Netflix subscription. I canceled the Amazon a long time ago because I got tired of their idiocracy. No good shows on there, and you trying to play in my face. What do I look like? You know what I mean? Like I canceled those, and if they come up with a good show, I could literally just like get them for a month and cancel them again. But with how they're trying to suppress feminist content and trying to do more of this romance stuff, it just makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to be controlled without even knowing that I'm being controlled. You know what I mean? Because that's what that will do. If you're not careful as to what you're watching, what you're listening to, the rap music, I stopped listening to rap music 2-3 years ago, maybe even 4, when stuff started coming out about them. I said, oh no, because they're infusing it into your mind, into your subconscious, without you even knowing that that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'd much rather pick and choose, especially in today's day and age. Well, y'all, Turns out I don't even need any of those subscriptions, because with this real life quality content, are we are you being so for real? This is like insane. I hate to be, I mean, but it is. It's like, what? Like, I remember, I know this, I know her. I know the Wizard Liz. I know about her. I don't really listen to her. I remember the first time I saw one of her videos, I kind of felt weird because I felt like she was yelling at me, like just kind of yelling, do this, do this. But I like her. I didn't get like a weird bad vibe from her. I felt like, okay, so she's like a coach for women. So even I know about her. That's how big this person is, where a full-on introvert doesn't even really watch her content. I know exactly who this is. Okay. I don't even watch her stuff, and I know who this person is. That's how successful this person is. That's how well known she is, and liked. Because y'all know, if I'm not feeling it, if I'm like, she's weird, she's a psycho, whatever, I'll say that. I'll just be like, she was always weird or whatever. No, I didn't get anything weird from her. I was just like, oh, okay. I see like what she's doing here, right? Well, she got herself pregnant, y'all, with a Dusty Male's kid, and now she's 4 months pregnant with this kid. Okay. This is a big problem because we just found out that he has been cheating on her. He's been cheating on her, y'all, while she's pregnant. And the details, you might have already heard the details. Everyone's covering this. She has over 7 million followers. Over 7 million followers. She's a coach. We're going to dissect it. We're going to take a look at it. As soon as I even remember seeing that Dusty Male she's with, because I remember thinking, is he a nerd or is he gay? Because I'm still kind of working on, because, some of these nerds, you can't really tell because of the way that they move, if they're just DL or if he's just a nerd. But I remember red flags going up because of that, and also because of her status level. In my previous live, in one of my previous lives, remember I told y'all, I said it's true. I'm not going to lie to you. The more you climb up the ladder, it doesn't matter in what. It could be financially, it could be intellectually, it could be like school. Say you have a master's or a PhD, or the higher you go, the less males will be available to you. Okay. It is true. The percentage does shrink significantly. Okay. So the more you accomplish, the more you get, the more assets you get, the more, first of all, it gets a little bit harder to maybe like hide, I guess, but the higher you climb, the more, the less males will be available to you, and the more skeptical you'll have to be of any male that comes across your path. The more skeptical you'll have to be, right? So I don't know if she just wasn't being skeptical. We're going to take a look at the stories now. I'm trying to go intense on males, but most of my comments are deleted on YouTube. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're weird. Mormons are weird. Yeah, I don't know. That's the only Mormon dude that I've, met. Yeah. Don't have kids, Miss Markin says. Yeah. You got to think about it. It's not that I'm anti having kids. It's just, if you are going to have kids, you have to understand the reality, the truth that's in front of you, so you can be better prepared. I say, make sure you can do it by yourself and alone. Meaning, make sure if anything were to go down, you already have the resources. You already have everything that you need in order to take care of that kid. Okay. Don't, let me get married and this and that, and then expect that the male is going to be there to help you take care of this kid. It's not going to work, Anyways, y'all, so let's dive in and get started. I think hopefully that's all I wanted to cover for the intro today, because the intros sometimes are the most fun parts, because I get to just like cover these different things and different updates, with y'all. Let me know what y'all think as we watched this, because to me, it's insane to think about the fact that, like, okay, she's coaching women, And she's been coaching women on how to avoid dusties, how to avoid red flags. And now she finds herself in this situation with a dusty. Y'all, let's see what's going on here. I'm going to fast forward through this one just because this is like what we're going to watch right now is more of the last interview. This is the last interview that she did. It was like a Q&A with me and my husband. Oh, y'all, I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up. So it's a Q&A with me and my husband. Q&A with me and my husband, girl. Okay, let's see. What's the Q&A? Let's see the Q&A with you and your husband, girl. What's going on here?
In this video, I would like to mention that this video is a paid with over 30,000 therapists. It is very easy to select the therapist that you feel most comfortable with because BetterHelp has a wide range of selection. And if the therapist that you have matched with is not the right fit, BetterHelp gives you the option to switch therapists with no additional charge. So it saves you a lot of time and a lot of money. I personally love that you are able to talk to your therapist out of the comfort of your own home because with stuff online, that's not true. Basically, me and Landon first met now 4 years ago. Something like that. 4 years ago, Landon messaged me, he DM'd me on Instagram, and he DM'd me a book that I should read. Then I was getting into my previous relationship, so we did message like back and forth. Pretty much, one day I opened my Instagram, and this is when, I guess they still do it now, but you would get like recommended posts, and I think Liz's content was just...
Okay, no offense, y'all, but Instagram, isn't that the first red flag? Don't I say stay away from these apps and any of these incels? You're going to find nothing but incels on these apps. If he's messaging you, how many other women do you think that he's probably messaged? What makes you think that you're so special above any other women? He's literally just shooting out messages to anything and everything on that app, probably including males. You know, that's why I say, like, red flag number one, Instagram, be so for real.
Starting to blow up, and so I got a recommended post about her account, and I saw her, and I immediately was like, oh my gosh, there's something special about this person. I don't know what it is. Obviously, you're so beautiful, but there was something deeper. And so I was like, I'm going to send her a message. What should I say?
Do y'all see his mannerisms? You see why I kind of feel like, is this guy gay? Or like, why does he move like that? Why does he give me, maybe I just categorize like males that I just get bad vibes from. I'm just like, he's probably just gay. You know, I don't know, girl.
And then I realized, like, I just want to add value. Like, maybe there's something I could like put you on. And so I sent her a book recommendation for a book called The Master Key System, which is the best book I've ever read. So I highly recommend it. I remember I looked at his pictures and you really didn't look happy.
Red flag number two. I remember I just want to add value. That is a male that lacks self-confidence. Well, what can I do to add value? I guess I'll just send her a book. You know what I'm saying? So he already knows. Keep in mind, you got to pay attention to the words these males use, right? He already knows that you're here and he's here. That's a problem for you. The more successful you are, you cannot afford to go with a male that's down here. You can't afford to do it. If you're going to marry this person, it's one thing to have a roster. You're trying to marry this person and have kids with them. He can't be down here because most males can't handle the pressure on their egos of knowing that you're more successful than them. So that should have already clued her in, like, oh, okay, locked in the back of my mind. Because that's a red flag. You know, when he said, oh, I want to add value. What can I do? What can I do to add value? I send her a book. He's struggling. He's already telling you right then and there. He's telling you right then and there, I don't really feel like there's anything that I can add here. I don't really feel like, I feel like you already have everything. So this is what she's dealing with. Another red flag.
You look right now, like I just thought, oh, he's so cute. He looks so nerdy, you know, like. I think I look older now and nerd though. Yeah, but no, now I feel like you've evolved a little bit. Upper nerd. Okay. When I saw the picture, I was like, oh, he looks cute. But obviously I didn't think anything of it. We just talked a little and that was it. I got into my relationship. You also got into a relationship then. So we were both like just living our lives. And but in my head, I like adored you, to be honest. Like every time that you would send me a message, I got just uniquely excited. And also at the time of this.
Oh my God, y'all, look how, I'm sorry. I know y'all really like this chick, but look how dumb she looks. Just because he said, in my mind, I really adored you. Look at how she's looking at him. Y'all, if you follow, at least if you follow the sprinkle lady, at least pay attention when she speaks. Okay, this is a dynamic that doesn't make sense. You're not supposed to like males. You can't trust them. You can't, like, this is someone that looks like she doesn't even care about red flags. She doesn't even know what red flags mean. Meanwhile, she's coaching all these other ladies. I like her still because it takes a lot of guts. I mean, it takes guts to come up here and say, this is what this male has done. And that's what I tell ladies to do all the time. Don't keep it a secret. Tell everybody. Because if I would have done the exact same thing, if this would have happened to me, I'd have been like, he cheated. Here are the screenshots you want to see. I would have done the exact same thing. Period. And that's what I say all the time. If he cheats, don't cover for these Neanderthals. Do not cover for these degenerate males. Okay. But, we got to take a look at it so the youngins hopefully don't make the same mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But don't cover for these Neanderthals. It's not worth it. Because most women, what they'll do is try to hide it, try to save face, right? But look how smitten she looks. It's ridiculous. Y'all, this is what you look like. If you fall for a male, just don't do it, bro. Just don't do it. She's very pretty gullible. That's the word, Looney 28, gullible. Look how that's why she looks so kind of dumb to me, because that's what I'm thinking. That's the word, gullible. It's like, are you serious? Like, what? Like, oh, I just thought you were so beautiful, blah, blah. Like, can you just like take 10 steps, 6 foot back, like it's COVID, please? Like, what are you even talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, God, y'all, I like the lady. I think she made the right move in coming out and not covering for this degenerate male, because that's what I say all the time. But at the same time, it's like, okay, let's be so for real. Now youngins, look, do what you want. I'm not a tyrant. But I mean, if you have eyes to see and common sense,
Sorry, but the first time you ever sent me a voice message, I remember I was in the LA airports trying to fly home to Dallas, and I got a voice message from you, and that really stuck with me, and I always thought about you in airports for some reason. So yeah. Anyways, go ahead. Well, so fast forward, then 3 years later, I went on a trip with my friend, and we were going to Santorini, and this was such a last minute trip. Like, I was like, let's just go. I finally want to go out. Like, I want to just really live my life. And I had booked so last minute that we had to stop in Athens, because normally it was directly to Santorini. We weren't meant to stop in Athens. And the thing I want to clarify, because a lot of people think that you stalked me. Which is crazy, by the way. I just got engaged and let's post that video.
He totally stalked. That's another thing. You think someone with 7 million, a woman that looks like this with 7 million followers, you think he didn't stalk you, or you, y'all, I question the whole reason for why I even come out here doing lives if the women are going to act like they don't have brains. You think he didn't stalk you? Are you insane? Like, of course he stalked you. Are you freaking? That's what I keep saying. Like, the males are literal predators. When I say that, it's because it's literal. I didn't just come out here saying that just cause. When I knew people were going to be like, what? Of course he stopped. So he just randomly ran into you in the airport. Just randomly ran into you in the airport. Girl, what? Be so for real, right? You see what I'm saying, Looney 28? Doesn't he give you DL vibes? Girl, I was like, and this was like 2-3 years ago, but I saw it on Instagram because she posted him on Instagram, but I didn't leave any comments, even though that was the first thing I said. Like, to myself, I didn't say it out loud. Like, I didn't post a comment on her thing because I just felt like that would be like, you don't want to rain on someone else's parade. And also, women don't listen. You could say it and she's just not going to listen to you anyway. You know what I mean? Like, because I think a lot of people were saying things about this guy that didn't look right or seem right, and she just didn't. She chose not to listen until this, So y'all, crazy.
Some comments that were like, I think this guy is like an stalker. Yeah. No way. My friend does not have social media. Like, she doesn't have Instagram, and I never ever post my location for safety reasons. Never ever. I will only post even the background where you can recognize something when I've already left. There's crazy people out there, you know.
Oh my God, did y'all see that? Did y'all see the face that he just made? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This guy is gay. Look at that. Look. You see how he's looking around? Look at the facial expression. You see how he's looking around? Look at him. He could give two craps about what she's talking about. He actually looks annoyed by her speaking. It's like, oh my God, women need to be so for real. It's like right there. It's right there. Look at this. Look at this body language. Let me slow this down. Look at this. This is insane. Look at him. Looking up, looking around. He cannot even stand listening to her talk. This guy does not like her at all. At all, y'all. Insane. Be so for real. Let me see. Am I in the right spot? Kind of? Yep.
Happens, and especially there. So the crazy part is, me and my friend, we completely walked through this airport. We got like 2 cookies, and we sat somewhere where we weren't supposed to sit at all. It was not our gate. It was just this random place.
This whole story is just so crazy.
It's really crazy.
Go ahead.
And then we sat there. I had like a mask on and a cap. Okay, no one recognized me. No one could recognize me.
So she had a mask on and a cap. No one recognized her. No one could possibly recognize her. And she didn't stop to think, now, how did this predator know that it was me? I have a mask on. I have a cap on. And yet somehow this guy knew that it was me. How did that happen? Maybe she mentions it later. I haven't really watched this. We're going to skip around, y'all, because this is too long of an interview. We're just covering some core parts because, look, it's there from the beginning, especially if you're successful. If you're a successful woman, forget about it. It's like 1% of the male population that you can even think about entertaining on a roster level. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you didn't stop to think about the fact that you had a cap on, you had a mask on, but somehow this predator, what did he sniff you out? Like, how did he know that it was you? Maybe she'll tell us. Let's see.
We're gonna get up. We were sitting there 5 minutes, get up and go to our gate because we had our flight. And then all of a sudden, like
this big upper nerd.
Like Landon walked by, and I guess you saw me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw you from like. I guess, hold on, before you give like the key moment. So like from my POV, like, yeah, I was dealing with, before I met Liz, I was in a relationship that was just so difficult for me.
You see that, y'all? She didn't stop to think to herself, how did he recognize me? I was wearing that was literally the whole point. I was wearing a hat. I was wearing a mask. How much do you want to bet that this degenerate male already knew where she lives? He probably already looked her up, did his research, was able to find out where this chick lives, and he might have been following her for a couple of days already. How much do you want to bet? Because you had all of this stuff on your face. Tell me how this degenerate male knew that it was you. And all of a sudden, in an airport, 5 minutes before you leave, he just happens to walk on by. Y'all, males are predators. I keep trying to, like, what? They are predators. They will literally hunt you down like prey. Okay? Literally. And she just didn't process through that. Insane.
I had this attachment that I had such a hard time like really growing through and away from. And I was just kind of following this path that led me into Ibiza last summer. And I ended up meeting some people that I was going to go to Mykonos with. So it was like an Ibiza trip for 2 weeks and then a Mykonos trip. And the people that I was staying with ended up trying to scam me a couple times. They successfully scammed like $20,000. And whenever I landed in Athens, which is where I was connecting to go to Mykonos, that whole trip got canceled. Like that part of it did. And so I was just sitting there thinking, oh man, what the heck? Why is this happening? Like
he's making stuff up. You can tell by his body language. You see how he's looking up to the ceiling. Oh man, why is this happening? Like that would be another red flag right there. I would be thinking, well, you know, I'm not going to call you a liar, but that's a red flag. Why are you looking up so much? What are you having to think so hard about? Over 20K, over $20,000. What do you do for a living? Because I don't even think you have that much. You got scammed. Actually, the fact that he got scammed in the first place, I'd be like, that's a red flag too. Do you not know how to manage money? What happened? Right? Like, when you're on this level, you got to take everything. You can't just be googly eyed and this and that. And look, why does she look so miserable? Like, I don't even understand. Like, he's like, I guess maybe because he hijacked the conversation. Women are usually the ones that love to tell their meeting story and all this stuff. The male hijacked the conversation. Hi, Original Aquarius. Thanks for joining. He's looking to his male god. Guilty Angel says. Gosh.
God, I try to be a nice person. I believe you get what you give. So, like, why is this happening to me? And I was like, you know what? Time to end my trip, go back to America. I went to go get my bags off the plane so they didn't put anything else without me. And I realized I had left my backpack in a gate in airport security. And so I was like, wait, I really need that. I never lose this bag. So I went to go get my backpack. In that moment, I do remember feeling like I was being led in some way. Like there was just some path that I was supposed to walk down and follow.
He was being led. Y'all, I can't do this. I cannot. Did this Neanderthal just say that I was being led in some way? And she believed it. Bruh, she believed it, that he was just being led in some way. And that's how this predator that's probably been following her for who knows how long ended up in front of her. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up. Y'all, you can't. It's like a literal predator. He's literally hunting. Like, I keep trying to say, like, look, this is what they do. This is what males exist to do, to hunt. And guess what they're hunting? You. That's what they're hunting. Like, I can't. He was being led. He was being led. You see, that's also why I tell y'all to stay away from religion. Okay. You know, I get it. I remember when I was going to church, my parents would take me to church and all this other stuff. It brings you a sense of comfort, you know, to know like, oh, there's some external being out there. It brings you some sense of comfort, but it's not real. Like, it just is what it is. You got to accept, because otherwise this is what you'll fall for. You were being led by what? If he would have said that, I would have started thinking like, is this male possessed? What were you being led by? Because that sounds like a possession to me, like you're being possessed. Bruh. That's ridiculous, y'all. Let's keep going here. Crazy. Let's see if we move on to the next one in a little bit, because
walk down and follow. I didn't know why. I knew my bag was going to be right where I thought it was. I turned the corner, I get my bag. I remember I took a picture of it. It was like 4:30 p.m. I was like, oh, well, it's there. Okay, time to go home. I get my bag. I start walking to leave the airport. And as I'm walking, I try to be observant, but I'm like looking around, and then I walked a step, and I felt like I entered just like a new dimension. Not to sound crazy, but I took a step forward, and I felt like I walked through a veil almost. And then immediately I sensed that I need to look up right over here.
Y'all, look how dumb she looks. Oh my God, look. Oh my God. Y'all see this? Look how dumb she looks right here. Dang. Look, she was like, okay, I think we're gonna move on to the next one, because I'm laughing, but I'm on her side. I just think it's insane when women fall for this nonsense. Like, the lies are so surreal that it's like, how do you fall for this? Like, how? It's not possible. The lies are so like out of this world, not based off of anything real, but this is most women. Meanwhile, she's the one that tries to coach you to not end up in toxic situations, right? I still like her. I'm still subs to her because that was an OG move, coming out and being like, the male's a degenerate, right? So if you go on his page, he's getting all the hate and she's getting all the support, from me included. But let's look at this. Like, this can't be real. Like, what? We're probably going to move on to the next one. Let me see what else.
She had like a mask basically covering her face. She was eating food. So like, I can't even really see her. She's sitting by her friend.
I can't really even see her. So how did this degenerate male know that that was her? And that didn't creep her out. Y'all, the way my heart would be pounding of fear, the fear that would like rush in me. I can't even see her. So how did you were led by what? How did you even know that that was her? This guy has been following her for days. How much do you want to bet? That he already knew where she lived. This guy probably already knew where she lived, to be that precise. Because even to get into the airport, if she's waiting on her flight, he must have bought some type of plane ticket to get in there. Okay. To be in the exact same location, to be in the exact same door or where they're about to leave, he must have bought a plane ticket to be in there to begin with. Look.
That's Liz. And I recognized you. I had no idea. Like, I had never seen you
before. And I remember he was like, Liz. And I look up and guys.
And he had never seen her before.
Before I even recognized him, because he didn't look like how I remember 2 years ago. And I vaguely watched like one picture, so I didn't even know what you really
looked
like.
Did you watch any of my videos back in the day?
No, never,
okay,
no.
Okay.
And so I saw him, and before I even recognized him, I go like, Landon? And I was like, huh? How did I even say that?
Yeah.
And it's so weird. So he went to sit next to me, and he was like explaining everything that had happened. But I remember like when we were talking, I felt such an energy come over me. Like I literally explained to my friends, I felt like everything in the airport just stopped and we were the only ones there.
Oh my God, the delusion, y'all. When you speak like this, I'm trying to be nice. Like, okay, let me adjust my Do you hear how she sounds? That's what you sound like. Don't do it. That's all I got to say. Don't do it. Okay, that's what you sound like.
Yeah.
So I remember thinking like, also, why does he look like me? That's the first thought I had. I think I told you that. I'm like, you guys look like me. So I was like, what is this? And I'm a very feeling-based person, so I feel a lot of things, and I've never felt.
Don't be a feelings-based person.
Like and yeah,
don't be a feelings-based person. That's like saying like I'm dumb. You know what I'm saying? No, be logical. I tell you, I say this to women all the time. I'm a very feelings-based person. In the middle of a patriarchy, you're going around being a feeling-based person in the middle of a patriarchy, living in the midst of your own predators. I'm a feeling-based person. It's like a blind person trying to walk through. Y'all, don't be a feelings-based person. That's how you end up here. Okay? Be a logic-based person. Okay? Be a reality-based person. Okay? How did this degenerate know I was sitting here? I got the mask on. I got this on. I got everything on. Where did he come from? Especially the timing. Think about it, because she had, I believe she had recently broken up with that other male that she was with. Like, I don't think it had been that long. I might be wrong on that, but there was like another male that she was with for several years that she had broken up with. I'm not quite sure how long it had been before this guy started stalking her down. This guy could have started stalking her from years before, y'all. That's why he hit her up on Instagram. There's no telling. He could have started stalking her from who knows when, from who knows what post that she posted that one day, and he recognized the background or something. There's literally no telling. Don't go on emotions.
With us,
it was like the very end of the conversation too, because I was just telling her what I was going through, and I was like, "Hey, sorry to throw this on you, but
I just also felt
back
so
to America."
bad. I felt so bad because people scammed you, and I was so sad.
I did say though, like, I'm not saying this so you feel bad for me. Like, I was just telling you what I was going through, and like as soon as I'm about to get up to leave, Liz was.
He told her the sob story. That's another red flag. If you watch dating coaches that are women, they will warn if you're watching the right ones. They'll warn you that one of the techniques that males use to catch prey is by telling you a sob story at the beginning when they just recently met you. It's basically almost like you're their mom or their therapist. Okay. So the sob story he came up with was, oh, I just got scammed. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to elicit emotion out of you, because if they're able to tell a story that elicits enough emotion out of you, that emotion that's being elicited is now connected to that male. Okay, the emotion that you're eliciting based off of the story that he's telling you is now being connected to the male. So now you're going to start feeling like, oh, that's so sad. He's so sweet. What a terrible thing to happen to this very innocent person. it's a red flag to tell someone you don't know that you just got scammed for over 20K. He is a psychopath. That's a psycho. That should have been the first and only red flag you needed. Okay. Because normal people will not walk around and tell a stranger that from day one. They're not going to do that. No, look at me. Especially a male species with the ego that they have. Their ego is literally based off of nothing. It's like on astronomical levels based off of nothing. They're not going to walk around and tell you that they just got scammed for 20K. Are you kidding? No way. So that tells you he's not only a predator, but he's actually one of the most dangerous types of predators. Because even regular males might not tell you that at the first meeting because they might be too worried or concerned that they would chase you away. But this guy didn't do that. So that tells you, okay, the danger level is not even here. It's here. Insane, y'all. Let's see, because I'm wanting to move on to the next
thing.
You
want to come to Santorini with us? And I was like, really? Are you sure?
Yeah. And then he was like, let me think about it. Like, he said, I don't know if he said yes.
No, I didn't. I said, ooh, give me a second. Like, maybe,
like,
yeah.
I'll text you. And he walked away. I told my friend, oh my God, I hope he comes. Also, the way you just looked, I like that.
Oh, thanks.
The way that he just looked, I like that. So he had prepared everything, looks and all. And another thing is she goes around online saying what she wants. So it would have been very, very easy for a male to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Like when you walk, like for me, it's, if a male were to try to target me, that's not going to be easy because of the stuff that I say about you know, about males. I'm like, yeah, they're kind of degenerate, right? You can try all you want. I already got my own house and stuff. That's why I say build your own stuff, because then that's going to hopefully make you think more, well, she's like rich, I guess. And she still is this, she fell for this, which is insane, you know, but build your own stuff. So that's going to make it to where at the very least, if anything happens, you don't have the fear of not having the support that you need, the foundation that you need, right, to get right back on track. But when she's like getting online talking about, this is what I want in a man, this is what I want in a man, this is this, and this is that. And he might have even studied her ex. He might have studied her ex and the way her ex dresses. And that's probably how he put whatever outfit that he put together. That's probably how he put that outfit together on that first day that they met. Okay. What is that? Like, what the heck is that? That's annoying me. So again, they're literal predators, like literally, y'all. Let me see what else is on here.
And then, I remember we were texting, and then eventually, he came to Santorini. He arrived like 2 hours later.
Despeраcy.
And
despeраcy. How are you going to invite a stranger to Santorini? You don't even know this guy. That's what I'm saying. Don't be desperate. You don't even know this guy, you know? So moving on to the next one, y'all. Moving on to the next one. Okay. This one was a really good one because some of the points that were made, because this original, hopefully I don't get doxxed because I don't know if her videos are, you know, if there's any like copyright, anything on her stuff. Hopefully not, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one here, y'all. Let me see. Hold on. Insane. Just in the first 10 minutes. All those red flags, all of those red flags just in the first 10 minutes, y'all. Isn't that insane? What the heck is this? God, I hate these. What is this? Oh, did I accidentally click on a different video or something? Okay. Oh, girl, I was like, what? This is not what we were going for. Okay. So let's see what's going on here, y'all. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff, I'll tell you.
If the person is like texting other people.
Yeah, well, there's different like degrees of severity for sure. But yeah, I think a lot of issues can be, it's honestly a toxic message. This thing I've seen people saying of like, oh, you can never trust a man. Like, never trust your husband. Like, he may just cheat on you. You never know.
Look, she knew. She knew that these were red flags when he was talking about this toxic. Look, did y'all hear what he said? there's different degrees of cheating. There's different degrees of cheating. So he was probably already trying to cheat on her even here. Talking about there's different degrees of cheating, and her face changed, which tells me you knew, ma'am. Your intuition. This is why it's important for ladies, don't ignore your intuition, because her intuition knew. That's why her face, her body reacted to it, right? Look, let's listen to that again.
Within 36 hours, I was like, look, this is going to sound like a lot, and I'm sorry, because I know it's weird, but I know I'm supposed to marry you.
So you guys, the internet.
Heck no, within 36 hours? Y'all, that's a creep. I don't know how she didn't get creeped out. I'm so sorry. It's like, how do you not get creeped out by that? That is so freaking creepy to me. Let me see. Let me change this from... Okay. Within 36 hours, he wanted to... I'm so sorry. I know this is going to sound creepy. Girl, if that were me, I'd have stopped messaging him. Boy, I'd have ghosted so hard. I'd be gone. Boy, I'm already so like paranoid. I'd be like, oh, bye. You know, I wouldn't even say bye. I just would like be taking longer and longer between each response, and I'd be out of there. Man, what? That's super creepy.
Landon Nickerson cheated on her while she's 4 months pregnant. And just when people thought it couldn't get worse, Landon dropped a so-called apology video that basically confirmed he has zero remorse. People are calling him out for being a narcissist, for being manipulative with his words. He actually tried to justify cheating, saying people should understand his side.
Look, I'm not going to come on here and ask for your forgiveness. I'm just going to come on here and ask for understanding, because I made a mistake. But that doesn't mean that I don't love Liz. I love her with my entire heart.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. People are also bringing up that as a tech founder, it feels like the only reason he even is speaking out is to protect his brand. Because let's be real, if you're shady in your relationship, people will question how you move in business. Character shows up everywhere. Landon ended up deleting his quote-unquote...
I'm sorry, but that video, he didn't seem sorry to me. Like, you can look at his facial reaction, his facial expressions, and I didn't see anything there. Like, I didn't see any type of emotion. I didn't see anything. If this person were to walk into one of my practices, I would be highly concerned, because I'm not seeing any emotion, like none, right? Like, not in the facial expression, not in the body language, not in the words that he's choosing to use, nothing. I'm not seeing nothing there. Y'all, imagine sleeping next to, oh my God, y'all, insane.
Apology video, but of course, digital footprint is a real thing. So we're gonna get into all of this in today's video. Liz has also come on social media to give a few more updates. There's a bunch of red flags about Landon that are now coming to light. We've got into all this, so let's dive right on into it. So real quick, for those unaware, here's the timeline that's got the internet calling it a real life horror story. Liz is a self-improvement content creator, and she has amassed over 10 million followers collectively on all social media platforms. People love the advice she gives. They love how she empowers...
Over 10 million followers, 7 million on YouTube alone. And she has a lot of youngins. I mean, these youngins, she has that following. She is it, period. Okay. The devastation. This is just, it's just insane. Let me see what y'all. Yeah. So, yeah, males, original Aquarius says males love humbling, beautiful women. Don't trust them. If you're beautiful, you're even more screwed because you'll get males targeting you just so they can humble you. So, and you'll get women targeting you just because they're jealous of you. That's why people say that it's when you're beautiful, it could be fairly lonely, right? Because of those two dynamics. He humbled her, and he humbled her big time. Okay. That's why I think, I don't know, she's 4 months pregnant, but I just, with what I know, I just wouldn't feel good about duplicating these genes. Like, now look, like she's going to go through and duplicate these guys' genes, like, and you don't know what you're getting. I mean, the kid could turn out okay, but who knows what demons he'll have to fight or whatever the case may be, you know, like, I don't know. I just wouldn't be able to wrap my mind through it, you know? Dang, I forgot I had like a meeting set up. So I'm going to have to like move that meeting. Let me see.
and creates content focused on self-love, mental discipline, confidence building, and personal growth, often with a tough love, empowering tone. She's helped a ton of women in their relationships, just overall their personal lives. About a year ago, she met someone named Landon, and they got engaged within 3 months of dating. But Liz shocked her fans when just the other day she took to Instagram and dropped receipts. She exposed that Landon created a fake Snapchat account to text another girl and even meet up with her in real life. On top of that, Liz is 4 months pregnant with his child. Liz stated that a girl who goes by Peyton sent her and her friend everything, the messages, the proof, all of it. She thanked the girl for reaching out, and Liz ended her relationship with Landon. Liz shared how deeply hurt and blindsided she felt. She even said that she was going to sell her engagement ring worth $100,000 and donate the money to single women. I gotta say, the way Liz handled this whole situation, she is the epitome of practicing what she preaches. She stood on business, left the man, and she is inspiring many women universally on how to deal with situations like this, to not stay in toxic relationships and settle for people who cheat on you, because that isn't love. Meanwhile, Landon's Instagram is bombarded with hate comments and
she's the epitome. Nah, let's not take it too far. She's not the epitome of practicing what she preaches, but she does get a good chunk of credit, for sure. She gets a good chunk of credit for not living in chaos and degeneracy by covering for this male. You know what I mean? Yeah, so the males will target you. Exactly, Guilty Angel. The males will target you, especially the more successful you are. Okay, so she caught it early. That's good. Another thing is that it was a woman that the woman that he was trying to sleep with was the one that warned her and said, hey, like, your male is over here and he's been messaging me this whole time trying to sleep with me. Okay, and she sent her proof. One of the things that made me think about is the fact that, like, if that were me and I were the other woman that this male is trying to sleep with, I don't know if I would tell this woman, because too often the women will blame you. So whoever the spouse is or whatever will end up blaming you, calling you a liar, saying this, saying that, saying that. That's another reason why I like how she handled this, by coming out and telling people he cheated, this and that, because it does give me a little bit more hope in that. Okay, I guess maybe women are starting to see, so it might be more worth our time if we try to warn the woman that's getting cheated on. I don't know. It might be, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, historically, it doesn't benefit you to warn the lady. It's like, whatever, if she probably knows about it anyway, I might as well just go on about my business. But with this, with her listening to that lady, even though the lady had to present proof, which she did, I mean, the proof is insane that she presented. It gives me a little bit more hope in that aspect as well, right? He doesn't mind bringing her and her baby STDs. The dudes are dangerous. Yeah, original Aquarius, exactly. That's what I keep saying. Like, this is a patriarchy. They don't care about kids. They don't care about children. What they're trying to do is humble you, because they don't like women and they don't like children. And he doesn't care about bringing her back any diseases. He doesn't even care about the fact that she's pregnant with his child. With that, let's even taking diseases off the table. The woman is putting her body through that whole pregnancy process for him with his child, duplicating his genes, and he could care less. And I always say this also. They always wait until one of two things. What are the one of two things they usually wait for before their mask falls off? Right? They'll either A, wait until you're pregnant, or B, wait until you're married. So that the marriage and kids are meant to trap you. It's not the other way around. Like, they were everything. When you see anything from the patriarchy, an easy way to know what's real and know what's true is to go the complete opposite direction. So they've always said, oh, women use babies to trap males. Okay. So you see the males say that, the patriarchy say that, go the complete opposite direction. And that's where your truth usually will lie. Okay, that's where your truth will usually reside, is in the literal complete opposite direction of that. So the ones that are being trapped is you as the woman. They use the kids to trap you. They use marriage to trap you because they don't care about either one of those things. You can't trap someone with something they don't care about. You cannot trap someone with something they do not care about. Okay. That's why most women are the ones that end up complaining. I'm the only one that's taking care of the kids. I'm the only one that seems to care about that marriage. You're the only one that's doing all that because you're the only one that gives a crap. The males don't care. So that's why you can't trap them with this nonsense. Maybe back in the day, not today. Okay. The males do not care about no commitment, about being faithful, about what the vows mean, about no child. They don't give a crap about any of that. So you cannot trap someone with something that they couldn't care less about. Okay. You're the one that cares about it, which makes you easy to trap. You're the one that's going to try to get full custody of the kids. You're the one that's going to try to do all this extra stuff, right? So you got to keep that in mind.
People just dragging him to the filth for what he's done. And to make matters worse, Landon decided to come out with an Instagram video trying to downplay this entire situation as just a little mistake, just a few minutes of texting that were taken too seriously. But no, Liz herself shared how deeply hurt and blindsided she felt, to the point where she considered selling her engagement ring because she no longer recognized the man she was going to marry. Liz is going to have a comeback like never before, and Landon, on the other hand, is out here having to do this.
Look, I'm not going to come on here and ask for your forgiveness. I'm just going to come on here and ask for understanding, because I made a mistake, but that doesn't mean that I don't love Liz. I love her with my entire heart, and we have a baby on the way. And over the last 10 months, I have done everything I can to give this person all that I can and to make her happy and do all of this. And regardless of how much I care, I made a mistake. And in the middle of texting somebody I should not be texting, in this moment of fucking weakness, like seeking validation, it's just a bad behavior that I can't believe I did it. But in the moment that I was doing it, I messaged that person that I was sorry and that it was wrong. And I prayed to God that night for strength and clarity to never do that again. That is not who I want to be. It is not what I thought I was stronger than this. I thought I was smarter than this. And I let something build up inside of me that I indulged in. And it is weak and it is despicable. And in this, I'd like to just take full accountability. I don't think this should have been aired out, honestly. And there's so much, oh my God, there's so much to say that I'm not going to say. But I'm taking accountability regardless. This is not something that I want to promote or make seem like I identify with. This is not who I want to be, and I'm sorry. I don't know how I could be such a fuck idiot at times. Like throughout my life, there are times where I just do things that I know I shouldn't, and I learned, but I shouldn't have to.
Let's just say the internet is not buying into anything.
Y'all, this guy, honestly, this is I think, a pretty dangerous person from what I'm seeing here. The body language is not there. The body language is not supporting the words that are coming out of his mouth. I mean, this is like an individual that's very nonchalant. His face is fairly stoic. Okay. The tone is fairly monotone. Okay. Not anything like you would hear typically hear when individuals are actually sorry about something. And that's why when males say, there's a reason why males don't like to come to therapy. There's a reason why males don't like to go to psychologists. Okay. It's because you can't really play all these games with most psychologists. Okay. It's very, very hard to fake, right? Like it's not like we see it every day. So it's going to be very, very hard for you to fake something like that. Okay. So that's why it's mostly males that stay away from that stuff, because they know that. Okay. The words don't even match. The words don't match any of the physical attributes. I'm looking at look at that. Very stoic expression. Eyebrows aren't really moving. Okay. As a matter of fact, he seems a little bit more relaxed than an individual who really was having an influx of these emotions would look. Okay. So this is a disaster, y'all, because this guy doesn't even care. Even now, he doesn't care. Even now, he doesn't care. So that tells me, well, he planned it all from the start. And he feels like he got one over on her, because even if they're not going to get married, guess what? That kid is still there. Unless she decides to get rid of that kid is still there. Okay. This also tells me just the danger level is actually higher than maybe if you were dealing with a typical male. This male is actually quite dangerous, because I don't see any emotion whatsoever here. Not even a semblance, not even like a shame. I don't see anything. Okay, so this is the type of guy that might unalive you in your sleep, you know? This is the first time hearing about her, and they just married 6 months ago already. Wow. Yeah, original Aquarius. So they literally have been dating they've only been dating for like 6 or 7 months. Okay. So this lady rushed into this marriage, right? And kids, she got pregnant. Like, I think she must have gotten pregnant maybe 2 to 3 months into the relationship, because now she's 4 months pregnant, and they haven't even been dating a year. They've only been dating about 7 months or so. And they were already scheduled to get married. I don't know if they actually went through with the marriage. People are saying that they did go through with it. Some people are saying that they only had it scheduled. They hadn't actually gone through with it yet. But she's already 4 months pregnant on top of everything else, all within the span of 6 to 7 months. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't really understand how something like this from a speechless, you know? He's a liar. Oh, hi, Barbed Wire. Thanks for joining. He's a liar and simple, not to mention he's literally eating. Girl, he's eating in this? No wonder. You see, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, why does he look? He looks so relaxed, as a matter of fact, like nothing's happened. Almost like he might be enjoying it. Okay. Because a good chunk of why he probably pursued her, stalked her, especially if he has this so-called tech business, is probably marketing and promotion. He might even be enjoying this. Why? Because he got her pregnant. That's why. So you can get a divorce and everything. Even if she married him, even without the child, if she ends up getting a divorce, even that is a win. That's why he feels like he won. Because, oh, look, she's basic, right? She comes here and says all these things, but at the end of the day, she's just basic. She's just nothing. She's just an object. I win. I did it, right? That's how the bros communicate. I always say this: males operate as a collective. That's how they communicate. That was his point from the beginning, right? But it's even worse with this kid. And the fact that it went so far as to go to the place where they're getting married, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's insane. No, I didn't notice that. But that makes sense, because I was more looking at the body language, and I was thinking to myself, this doesn't make sense with what he's saying. I mean, the facial muscles are relaxed. There's really no tension, not even in the arms. He looks like he's saying things that he doesn't even mean, with the scratching of his eye when he's saying certain words. Y'all, insane. This is just, oh, y'all, I can't do this. I cannot. Yeah. In this case, she wasn't who she represented herself to be. This is a tough one too. I know. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know if she 100% represents, like this video was saying, she does what she preaches. I don't know about that. I don't think I can give her that. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like, I can't give her that, because I mean, come on. Like, even just the fact that it was moving so fast is an obvious red flag. I mean, you're getting married in 6 months. What do you think every woman, I mean, these types of women they feel like they're the exception to the rule. Yeah, you're the exception to the rule in the form of being the easiest prey possible to take advantage of. That alone should have never ever occurred based off of the fact that she's going around preaching these things to the ladies, you know?
That comes out of this man's mouth. Then he keeps going, confessing how he still loves Liz, how he tried to make her happy, blah, blah, and now he wants to be a better man.
I love Liz more than I could even put words to, and I've shown her this, and I've tried my best to make her feel safe and happy and protected. And well, yes, I made this mistake. I want to be a great man, and I'm not there yet. But I know that a great man is one that takes accountability. I know that a great man is somebody who makes a mistake and then can be forthcoming honestly. And although I felt bad, like I should have just said, hey, I've done this thing. I feel very bad about it. I'm sorry. Like I know what I did was wrong, and this is not going to happen again. And I'm sorry. And that's how you should treat the people you love. And I am sorry.
Look, yes, people mess up in life, but cheating while your partner's pregnant and...
Oh, man, he doesn't sound sorry at all, bruh. That's crazy. He does not care. Man, that sucks. That's insane. Even the way he says, oh, yeah, but I'm sorry. It's like, what's the big deal? I'm sorry. People mess up. Who cares? What's the big deal? I mean, this guy doesn't get, like, he doesn't care. He doesn't get it. He doesn't care. He couldn't care less. He's just doing it for the optics, right? Like, I'm trying to, it's insane. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wants to show that he doesn't care. Exactly, Looney 28. Mm-hmm. He looks like a hobo. Girl. He looked like, you know what? He looked like a hobo to me during that interview that they had together as well. Not just fruity, but this guy, you can kind of tell that he's trying to copy a certain, like, he's not being himself. He's trying to copy a certain image, right? Insane.
Secretly flirting through fake accounts to meet up with another woman, that's not just a let's move on moment. It hits way different, especially when this is the same Landon who just dropped a whole book declaring his so-called love for Liz, as Liz said. Trying to be Mr. Perfect on social media, all this performative stuff is insane. Landon also posted a picture of him and Liz on his Instagram.
Girl, he made a whole book. How is this not cringe? How do women not cringe? Things like that. Like, who makes a whole book with pictures? Like, is she delusional? That is creepy. That's creepy. What do you mean a whole book with pictures of the both of you and he's writing stuff in this book and it's only been 3 months? It's not even like you're celebrating your 10-year anniversary or your 5-year anniversary. It's been 3 months, girl. Let's be so for real. That is creepy.
And people were like, why? It was giving delusional. Like, bro, Liz clearly wants nothing to do with you after finding out you cheated. She stated that she's hurt, disappointed, and done. Meanwhile, he's out here posting some romantic throwback like everything's fine and dandy. It's giving tone deaf, and honestly, it's just sad. Now, guys, let's talk about these stalking allegations.
Look how gay he looks. Look. Don't he look super homo right here? I keep telling y'all. Homo. Read the room. That's a homo male. I swear to God. How do women miss this? You can't miss that. I guess you could kind of miss it if you're trying to, because I kind of was like, okay, I'm stuck. Like, is he just a nerd? Or is it like more like a homo situation? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes those two could get confusing.
Congratulating her on her YouTube success. He would message her every once in a while congratulating her, but they never maintained a friendship in those 3 years until she met him at the airport in July, and they were inseparable since then. Landon said that they were friends and talked for 2 years before they both entered different relationships and just stopped talking until they met at the airport while they were both single again. Now, in that recent Q&A video they did before Liz found out he cheated, Landon tried to clear the air because people were side-eyeing the whole airport coincidence. Social media was accusing...
If you talk for 2 years... Okay, that's a red flag too. You talked for 2 years and it didn't go anywhere. If you talk for 2 years and it didn't go anywhere, like, that should be it. Like, it's like vomiting and going back to your vomit. You know what I'm saying? Like, 2 years of your life, 2 years. You talked for 2 years, supposedly, and it didn't go anywhere, and you decided it was a good idea to double back. Let me double back and eat my throw up real quick. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like you don't even value your own time. You don't even value your own lifespan, But it's not her fault. I mean, I say this is what I say here. The males are degenerates. You can't trust them. Can't trust them. You know, the males are degenerates. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
And in a full-on Haley Biebering his way to get with Liz, like tracking Liz's IP address or doing some next-level stalker move, because yeah, the whole we just randomly ran into each other thing feels a little too perfectly timed. I mean, even Liz said on video that she was shocked the way he ran into her, because Liz said she was low-key, she was in disguise, hoodie, sunglasses, totally unrecognizable. She made a quick stop in Athens for a trip, and somehow Landon just happened to be there too, while she was in the back of a store grabbing cookies with her friend. He started going off about how his friend scammed him out of a trip, and that's why he ended up at the exact same place as Liz. It just sounded way too calculated.
Girl, that
Like,
makes
weren't buying into
no
his story, saying there's
sense. I
no
would
way
be
this
so
was a
creeped
coincidence.
out.
He plotted this.
My friend, we go to the airport, and mind you guys, I'm wearing a cap that's like up until here. You can barely see it. You can see like this is my nose, and I'm wearing a mask. Okay, no one can recognize me. Probably people couldn't even recognize what gender I was. Face, okay, like nothing. I'm sitting, and all of a sudden, I hear this. I look up, and I'm like, and guys, I do not know how he recognized me.
I do. He stalked you.
I do not know how I
You look at your
recognized him.
social media.
I've never seen this guy in my life. Never in real life. I don't know what he looks like. And he definitely didn't.
I also saw in the video that the excuse that he gave was that he was scammed by his friends and he was lost at the airport. Yeah, right.
So he was telling me he was supposed to go to Mykonos, but his friends had just scammed him or whatever, and they had canceled on him. So he's like, yeah, I'm going back to America. But he's like, I forgot my bag where you were sitting. That's why I came back for my bag.
And even in that YouTube video they dropped just days before it came out that Landon cheated on Liz, people were already picking up on something dark. The cues were there. The Q&A had this weird energy. His body language was setting off alarms. It gave that stick-to-your-stomach, gut-wrenching vibe that just sticks with you. He was giving full-blown narcissistic love bomber. People being like, that's literally how narcissists act. The classic 1,000-yard stare while love bombing away.
Whoa. Don't say that. No, they're gonna think I'm like holding you hostage.
No. Even in my previous relationship, didn't have intimacy.
I think this is your first real relationship, to be honest.
Oh, that would have ended it right there, because I got too much of an ego. That would not work for me. You heard what he said? He said, I think this is your first real relationship, to be honest. Girl, I'd have ghosted him right then and there. I'd be like, okay. You don't have a personality that would work well with mine because you don't know your place. Okay. Saying all like, what does that even mean? I think this is your first real relationship. So he's already started the ASUS process. That's abusive behavior. How can you speak to someone like that? Like, oh, this is your first real relationship. Nothing you've done until now matters, except for the guy is a psychopath. That's abusive language. And it's so micro that most women won't catch these things. That's the beginning of an abusive cycle. Girl, I'd have ghosted. So with how finicky I am already, any little thing, I'm like, maybe Mother Nature does not want me right here. So I'm going to be right there, right? That'd have been the, like, what? It also makes me think, like, how much stalking did he do for him to say that so comfortably? Because he's probably been stalking this girl's ex-relationship for who knows how long. Couldn't be me. Couldn't do it.
Person, you are.
Yeah, naturally.
He's very, very beautiful. Anyone that has dated, as you guys know, how control.
People also found it sketchy how he never could really answer what made him fall in love with Liz when Liz asked that question, which was so strange. Like, surely if you really loved her, it wouldn't take a long ass time for you to give a vague answer on why you fell in love with her.
Every day, a goddess takes a man who looks like a foot and makes him extraordinary with her magic.
Doesn't matter, you know?
One baby for every cat.
Yeah.
How many kids do you guys think Liz and I are gonna have? I think we're gonna have 5.
5. I need to birth those.
I'm gonna name one of them Euclid, and I think we're gonna have 5.
Oh my god. So this is a look of contempt. I think it's really good to actually have photos and videos of your partner. Is in the moment, her intentions are so pure, and a lot of the times when you're in love and you're swept off your feet or you're love bombed, you're not gonna be able to recognize this. But the way that he looks at you will tell you everything. Everything. And when he's looking at
Look
her,
at
it's
him.
with this, it's with this
Look
contempt,
at
it's with
him.
this hidden motive.
He looks
You
like
see,
a-
this is just strategic.
Bro, he looks like a full-on pred. Look at that. Predator. Mwah, mwah, mwah. That's a predator. That's what they look like. I swear, y'all already think I'm just saying it to be funny, but for real, look. Doesn't that look so predatory to you? Look, that's what they look like. That's insane. Look how he's looking. Okay, another thing is, we're in the day and age where it's just not an excuse anymore. You can't be like, but I loved him so much. Yes, the woman will still rally behind you because it's always the predator's fault. He's the one that cheated on you while you were 4 months pregnant. We'll still rally behind you, but it's not going to be enough because you're going to be the only one dealing with these consequences. And people are not going to feel all that bad for you based off of the consequences you're having to deal with when your excuse is, I was just so in love. It doesn't work today. Not in 2025. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm trying to tell you. You got to wake up. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. That's why I use such straightforward language. I think my subscribers might be used to it by now, but I use very kind of alarming language because I know if you're hearing that for the first time, it's going to cause you to pause, right? And I do that on purpose. When I say, okay, you're prey, you need to understand that, okay? Okay, he's a predator. You need to understand that because all these things are literal. It functions kind of the same way even in the animal kingdom. But the animals don't have all this consciousness, right? So they don't go around, doing the most except for what they exist to do, right? So this guy, I mean,
He wants to take her light. He wants to trap her. It's like the jealousy,
I came across this Reddit post from around 6 months ago, and even back then, a bunch of people were calling Landon and this whole relationship super weird and low-key creepy, and how Landon had plotted all along to baby trap Liz because he saw her as some trophy woman and it would stroke his ego. They are just weird. Who gets engaged after 3 months of dating? Also, the fact that Landon deleted all of his posts and unfollowed everyone shows how much he relies on Liz to be some sort of perfect, mysterious dream guy, because she knows her followers would cook him for who he really is. He's also liking comments on his posts that say Liz was his first love and first girlfriend, even though he's in multiple relationships with different women. Weird energy. My heart still goes out to Liz. I can't believe Landon will most likely still be in her life indirectly because they do share a child together now. But I'm sure we all know Liz being Liz, she's gonna bounce from this 10 times.
Yeah, there's no bouncing from that. I say this all the time. When you have a kid, how many times do I have to say this? It's game over. It's game over. Now you can bounce from it in a sense of like, it's not like your whole life is ruined and the world has ended or whatever, but there's no bouncing back from it in the sense of like, he did checkmate you. That's a checkmate. Okay, that's a checkmate. I don't know, maybe it's just my ego couldn't take it. I couldn't do it. The kid would not. I wouldn't be able to. I don't know. Y'all, insane. That's a checkmate though, right? You got to be careful around predators because what they try to do is checkmate you. So no matter how you move, you can't really move, right? The guy's a degenerate, right? So he's not going to, that's why degenerates never know how to find happiness because, they're degenerates. Let's see what this chick has to say here. Okay, y'all, let me see. Oh, I was sending an email and oh, this is just insane. The internet has been going crazy.
Landon, the guy that cheated on the wizard Liz, is having some sort of crash out because this man literally just posted all the screenshots and evidence of him cheating. So let's get into it. Oh, he's so dumb. And all of this is screenshotted off of his story. So Landon messages
y'all, this is insane. So this is the history of the messages. You see how the lady he was messaging was taking pictures. She was using another phone to take pictures because when you're on Snapchat, it tells you if you try to screenshot the chat, it tells you, like it tells the other person that the chat messages were just screenshot. So she had to take pictures of the messages. And she was taking pictures of the messages where this male kept trying to cheat, kept trying to sleep with her, basically. Y'all, this is wild. Okay.
Girl. Okay, the girl he's trying to cheat with. And mind you, this is all happening when the wizard Liz is in London and Landon came back to the US. He messages the girl, are you still in Dallas? She says, yeah, why? He says, just wondering who. All I know is still here. I just got back from London. In New York Tuesday, then back in Dallas for a week. Do you have plans? So he's obviously trying to fucking hang out with her. This girl, she ate him up. She said, aren't you married? This idiot says no. He denies being married, even though on his main Instagram account, the only post up there is him and Liz's engagement post of her with the fucking ring. He says,
I'm telling y'all, they don't care about marriage. You can't threaten someone with something they don't care about. Okay? Can't do it. Right? He said nope. I ain't married. To who? What are you talking about?
No, plus just looking for friends. And then he changes the chat to delete immediately. This dumb bitch. The girl says, since when aren't you married? He says, well, it's complicated long distance internet thing. But no, I'm not married, LOL, not a normal life for sure. So basically trying to invalidate the entire relationship, saying it's just an internet thing and it's long distance, even though Liz's cats were literally with him at the fucking time. The girl says, so your whole relationship.
Girl, original Aquarius, married males are the most single males that I've ever seen in the entirety of my lifespan. When I was in corporate, every single male that would hit on me was married with kids, bruh. Married males. That's why I say, like, no, unless you're doing sprinkle is the only exception I could think of, but most women can't pull that off because of all their emotional crap. You know, like, oh yeah, and then they start crying when they find out he was cheating. Y'all, married males are the most single males on planet Earth. They're even more single than actual single males. And the problem, one of the biggest problems with the male species is as soon as you marry him, it's going to boost his ego. Okay. So even if when he was single, he couldn't really get any women. Now that you've married him, he's going to feel like he can get more women because he got you. You're going to get cheated on. Okay. They all cheat. You're going to get cheated on. Period. Crazy.
Is fake. Then he said, no, it's not, but I'm not married. That part's not real. The girl says, what does that even mean? Mind you, again, the only post on his entire Instagram page is him and Liz's marriage announcement. Then he proceeds to say, haha, do you want to see me? I can tell you in person. Trying to make plans to hang out. He claims, oh, it was just a small thing. I didn't even cheat. It was just a little text. No, motherfucker, you were trying to make plans to see this girl in person so you could properly cheat. She says, I don't want to hang out with a married man, and I saw you wearing a wedding ring. He proceeds to say, well, that's fair, but no, not married. She sends him a screenshot of his wedding ring. This idiot says, oh God, that was worn for the video. But never mind, it's complicated. She says, explain, like, what do you mean? Obviously, he can't explain because he's actually effing married, but he says, no, never mind. I told you it's complicated, not legally married. Maybe we'll be. What? She said, either way, you're in a relationship, shouldn't be trying to hang out with girls. He then says, why were you going to come courtside with me then? Just curious, but your point is valid. This is giving that he has tried to cheat before. Because what do you mean she was going to come courtside with you and you were under the impression that she wanted you or something? This isn't the first time I've slid trying to hang out / cheat. She said, what's your point? You invited my boyfriend and we never came. He said, I didn't know you had a boyfriend at the time. Meaning he invited her to come sit courtside with him and he thought she didn't have a man. So he had previously been trying to cheat with this same girl. And no, not trying to pull a fast one on you, LOL, just curious. But you said it yourself. You're in a relationship right now, so why are you trying to hang out with me? He says, well, was not trying to date you, but you're right. Still continues to gaslight, saying, but the situationship's complicated or
Y'all, the audacity was not trying to date you, but y'all, these males play these games because y'all have too much patience. This is the definition of patience right here. Girl, the way I would have stopped responding. She's a runner. She's a track star. She's a runner. She's a track star. Gone. Insane.
Resolved. I shouldn't message you. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll explain more one day, implying that there's more to this story than the fact that he's a cheating asshole. Then, after sharing those screenshots, he proceeds to say, transparency. You can't be repentant and grow if you can't own your choices. Does he think this is going to make him look better? Like, I'm sorry, this just made him look 10 times worse. Because I deadass thought that he literally sent the girl, hey, like, where you at? Want to meet up? And that was it. This was a long-ass fucking conversation of him trying to gaslight the girl he's trying to cheat with into thinking that it is an entire fake relationship. And then he self-incriminates himself, saying that he had been trying to hang out with her before and have her come courtside with him. She says, me and my boyfriend didn't want to come. He said, I didn't even know you had a boyfriend at the time. Implying he had been trying to cheat before. Oh my God, this stupid motherfucker. He is so dumb. But I'm so glad he's doing this because, Liz, he's literally giving you the evidence you need. He's embarrassing himself. Goodness gracious. Oh my God.
So this guy probably, so this is a girl that he's been trying to get. Okay. And I think what most likely took place is that he's been trying to get this girl, and this girl has been kind of rejecting him, right? And now that he feels like, oh, he's with this other woman, he's with this other lady, because he knows, he knows, like, okay, she's plastered all over my Instagram. The girl has told him, well, I see your Instagram. He feels like, okay, let me try it again. Because I say this all the time also. Males get with you, and I just said it before, they get with you because they want access to other women. You as a woman bring him more access to other women. It's not the other way around. If they see that he has a woman, it's not going to be a thing where, oh, he's taken, he has a woman. No, because you're with him, the better you look, the more access he gets to more women. So he had already tried this before and was not successful. Okay. He decided to try it again. Well, what's the only difference here, right? Because based off of that conversation, you can tell it's the first time that this girl has said to him, but you're married. Okay. So I think the difference was the introduction of this girl that he just got pregnant. And he was thinking, well, let me try it again. Now that I have this girl, because other women will see that and think, oh, there must be something to him if he was able to get this girl. Okay. Males will see that and think, oh, look at that trophy. Interesting, right? How did he get that? Right. So that's what he was doing. That's because you don't just go on the especially if she has your Instagram, right? There's no solution. Marriage to me is just not worth it. Okay. Unless you're super poor and you really, really need help paying these bills and stuff, you figure it, find another way or something.
Got cheated, but
this is the last one we're going to take a look at as we kind of start wrapping up here. Okay. This guy is such a degenerate. Y'all, this is like a degenerate male that decided to stop by and tell us his opinion as if we care on this whole situation. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, these males are so degenerate. I'm like, dang, do they get the audacity from women though? I feel like, look, more women need to start waking up, because this level of audacity is surreal. Imagine this male coming to tell us this or that and preach, but it's like, it's most women that will support this behavior, which is why we have to put up with idiots like this guy. These ads are so annoying. Like, what the heck? I'm waiting for the ad to run through so that I can actually hit play somewhat at the same time. I hate YouTube so much. I swear to gosh. Okay.
Her husband Landon and is apparently 4 months pregnant. So in this video, I quickly want to talk about Wizard List, and I want to talk about the whole situation, explain it from a male's perspective, look at it from a female perspective. Because for those people that do not know who Wizard List is, she's a YouTuber that makes videos more tailored towards women about healing, on how to have standards. Literally why I tend to...
No offense, but he gives me rainbow vibes as well. I don't know why these guys go for these types of looks. Why do you go for a look like that? The jacket is way too big for you. Either rainbow or hobo. This, I don't know. Most women would be attracted to this, though. What do y'all think? I feel like most women would be attracted to something that looks like this. I don't know. I don't, like, your jacket is way too big. Why are you wearing that? Okay. The hairstyle, it looks like you're trying to pose for a magazine or something. What's going on there? I don't know. I just don't know. Why do these males keep going for these looks? It's giving hobo vibes. You dress like a hobo. Put on some slacks and a button-up shirt or something. What's going on here? Anyways.
Say how I tell men to have standards. She kind of does that to women, where she puts women on a pedestal in the sense of, like, do not accept.
Exactly. Over 90% of males are completely homo. And a lot of them turn themselves homo by doing this. What is this? Look, how do you expect not to get targeted by another male when this is what you look like? All the homo males are going to come and they're going to come for you. They're going to target you because you look like a rainbow. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was completely DL. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. Maybe it's just my taste. You know, I don't understand why they look like that.
Anything less. And apparently she just got cheated by her husband, Landon. And this is not a hate video. I don't really want this to come across
So King B agrees. Oh God, out of control.
in a negative way where I'm bashing her, because I do truly feel for her, especially because she's from Belgium. I was born in the Netherlands. So, you know, we have that kind of vibe where I can obviously kind of relate where, like, what her background is and where she comes from. But in this video, I just quickly want to speak about everything in terms of wizard list from a male and female perspective. Essentially, when it comes to her.
Whoa, degenerate male. What makes you think that you can speak from a female's perspective? You see, this is what I'm saying. This is why it's just better for women to accept, like, look, your dating pool is going to be non-existent the higher you climb, because if you accept it, you're not going to let these type of things slide. What do you mean from a woman's perspective? How can you give it from a woman's perspective? You're not a woman. That's how you already know that what's about to come out of his mouth is nonsense. Crazy.
Safe option. And these days, I see too many women think that there's something called a safe option. They think, yeah, okay, if I end up going for a guy that might be a little bit more nerdy, might not really go out, might not get a lot of attention, I'm putting myself up for success. But to be honest, that's far from the truth. And the reason I can say this is because I once was this nerdy looking guy.
Look at this guy. He thinks he's not nerdy looking anymore. He thinks he's transcended that and like he's super good looking. But I will say he has a point in that. I also used to think that too. I used to think like, okay, if anything, maybe try a nerdy guy. But I don't know. This guy that she went with, I don't think he's actually truly nerdy. I think he was just pretending to be a nerdy guy. There's a difference. I think he studied her. The whole thing was premeditated. Okay. So I don't think he's actually like a nerdy guy. I think he's like some creep, some degenerate incel that literally studied her, probably stalked her, and then put up a facade that he felt like would hook her. Right. But it's true. Apparently you can't trust any of the males is basically what he's telling you, I guess.
And how most nerdy looking men think. I completely understand how most men think in general. And thinking that a nerdy looking guy that is, to be quite honest, not on her part, not on her league, and giving him a chance is a safe option is just a false fallacy. You cannot expect a guy that's never had the male model looks, never had a status, never had a substantial life where other men look up to, women admire, to think that he's going to be loyal. A man like that hasn't ever in his life felt the attention that a beautiful woman has felt. Because the reality is a lot of times a nerdy man tends to be a weak man with no emotional control and zero options.
No. So that's the thing though, but I can't, if it was coming from a woman, I would be more open to it. But he's saying a nerdy man a lot of times tends to be a weak man. And I know what that means when males call other males weak. They're calling males that seem to have some semblance of respect for women, and they view that as weakness. So I don't know where, because he's a male, I'm struggling with really knowing where he's coming from, if he's really understanding, the meanings of these things. There's a lot of times a nerdy male is just a weak male, but we know that what you consider weak is any sort of respect for women. So, and I feel like if you're viewing nerdiness as a weak male, then what's the context there? Yeah, he descended from a nerdy look, maybe. What's the context there?
Used to be that guy. I used to be completely invisible. No one would really like me for my looks, and I had to work hard to become a somebody. I had to work hard day in, day out to make a name for myself, to become better looking, to get my money up, to get my status up, and to even improve me as a person, to improve my character. Because no one is built with amazing traits by the get-go. We develop as life goes on, and that's why you usually see that the real message.
Oh my God! So are you going to talk about like what happened or not? Like to develop me, but meanwhile he's not even that attractive. Like it's like piss off, sir.
Have been through a lot. The real masculine men have suffered their entire lives, and that's character building. So the first thing I want to say, because I constantly see this narrative where a lot of girls think they're special, they're a princess, and they deserve a man that will listen to them, will quote unquote obey them. But that's just not the case. You cannot expect loyalty from a weak, nerdy looking guy that's never had options in his life. Because essentially what you're doing right now is you're boosting his ego. Now this guy thinks he can get any baddie or slide in other girls' DMs. Because you were thinking, okay, cool, I've got a safe bet here, right? Where no other woman will want him. He's cute, he's loyal, he's a bit nerdy, kind of my type. But this is where it goes wrong. And I'm sick and tired of women thinking that they can outsmart the system. I'm sick and tired to see that women go for weak men that are only doing the talking or saying the right things to them.
Outsmart the system. Y'all, they tell them themselves. All you got to do is listen. And at this point, because I've said this in so many of my lives. In one of the first lives that I did, I said this. I said, the males will tell you. All you have to do is listen to them. And I think a big part of the problem is the women don't listen. They don't want to listen. I've said this a few times where, look, the males tell you, they know. That's what, whenever I say they know, it's because I mean it literally. They know. They know. They'll tell you. So if you choose to live in delusion, oh yeah, I'm just going to find a nice one. I'm just going to find this and that. That's going to start being your fault, because with all of this content out here, the males tell on themselves. Outsmart the system, he says. What system? That's what I want to know. What is he calling the system? So women can't outsmart the system. Y'all, what's the system? The system like the patriarchy? The fact that such a thing actually does not exist? What system? The males will tell you. They'll tell you. So many of these males don't even want to get married. And they'll try to tell the lady or the woman, like, look, I don't want to get married. I don't want that. And these women will literally force them into marriage. They'll literally force it like so in such a creepy way. He said, outsmart the system. I'm sick and tired of, look, this guy, I hear a lot of contempt towards women here, sir, and no one's forcing you to chase women. Tap your bros on the shoulder, okay, and go sleep with your bros and get out of our face. That's what I always tell them. It's like, what's the problem? Oh, I'm sick of women just thinking that they're, and then he tells on himself because he's so emotional. The whole truth comes out because he's so emotional. I'm telling you, they tell on themselves because they're emotional. They are emotional. Complete lack of emotional control. Completely. It's crazy.
Just to make them feel special. Look, the reality is the most competent, honest men will be blunt. Because a lot of times, if I look at myself, I'm so direct and blunt. And a lot of people simply do not like it. They're like, yeah, why don't you just rephrase it? I'm like, I'd rather be honest and be real in a fake world than sell you all of these fake lies, fake dreams, just to make sure that you'll end up liking me. And too many women fall victim to the words of men. You need to focus more on the actions. You need to look at the background, because the reality is you should go for a man that has built himself up from nothing. These type of men know what it takes to build a good relationship. These type of men know what it takes.
Is he high? You should go for a male that's built himself up for nothing. These males are degenerates. I'm telling you. Go for a male that's built himself up from nothing. How many rich males do we know about that have built themselves up from pretty much nothing and they still cheat? That's what I'm saying. Like, males just need to learn how to shut up. The males, whether they built themselves up from something, whether they inherited the wealth, whether they stumbled upon the lottery, they all do the same thing. They all cheat. All they're looking for is the opportunity to do so. And most of them will cheat with not just women, but with women and males, bringing something right back to you as the woman. So he's like, well, look at how he built himself. How he built himself has nothing to do with the fact that males are complete degenerates. They lack self-control completely. This is why it's dangerous. As a woman, it's so easy to sit down and listen to this and be like, oh, yeah, because your brain's not working. Okay. The male's cheat no matter what. All he's looking for is access. Okay. All he's looking for is the opportunity. They do it because they have the opportunity to do it. That's it. That's why they do it. Okay. How many males do we hear about that are rich, successful, built themselves up from nothing, and they still end up cheating? Right? There was that degenerate male. What do they call it? Like, they were famous YouTubers. Both of them were kind of like scammers. They were married or whatever. He cheated on her and everything. I was thinking of doing a live about it, so maybe I still will. You know, the males do the same thing. Most of them cheat. Why do you think more and more of these women are running away from you? And now all of a sudden starting to try to listen. Like, oh, maybe she's not being that harsh after all. That's what you can't take a male seriously.
Take something lost. Because if you look at a businessman that had to work on his business year in, year out just to build something, he will value it way more than some scrawny loser that's never had to do anything. Just because he's cute, maybe he doesn't look that intimidating, does not mean that he's the best option. Too many women these days go for nerdy looking soy boys, and it always ends up backfiring. And the reason I'm saying this is because, okay, cool, not everyone might cheat. But the reality is a lot of these men would have cheated if they had the opportunity, but they clearly did not have the opportunity. Because a lot of these soy boys, a lot of these nerdy looking guys.
Why is he talking about nerdy looking guys? Like, it sounds like self-hate to me. Because he started with saying that he was one of those nerdy looking guys. I guess he tried to change the surface, but didn't work on his internal state of being. Because it sounds to me like his internal state of being and his mentality is still stuck on being this nerdy looking kid. It sounds like a lot of projection and self-hate, sir. Because if you weren't stuck there, you would know and be able to see and tell the truth about the fact that it's all males that cheat. What are they supposed to go for? Someone that looks like you? You look like someone that would cheat. The pretty ones cheat all the time, left, right, center, and they don't even have any money. It's the ones that look good, the young ones, they're the ones that go sleeping with everything and anything, including turkeys. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, what? What are you talking about? It makes no sense. Hi, Sonia. Thanks for joining. Yeah, agreed. Original Aquarius. Monogamy doesn't exist. It's a religious brainwashing tactic to trap women into inferiority. I think so too. I don't think monogamy is a thing. I think everything is a choice. And what religion has done is they've siloed you, right? You can choose monogamy. You can want just to be with one person, but there's also other choices that you can make. Now, me, from a woman's perspective, I wouldn't do anything with a bunch of males because they walk around with a lot of diseases, and it ends up not making sense by nature, okay? By nature, to put yourself at risk over and over again. But like, monogamy it's true. Monogamy in and of itself is a societal construct based off of religion. Okay. And so I don't really know what to say to this guy. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't listen to males, because women have to consider so much more. There's this male is limited because he's a male. He's not thinking about these things. Okay. He's not thinking about these things. Oh, because he's a nerd. He's big. So who are they supposed to go to? You? So what do you think males with money do once they acquire money and they've never had money before? You think they're more likely to be faithful just because they came up from poverty now that they have money and they didn't have money before? Because those males are they're in the exact same position as the nerds that you're talking about. He's saying that those nerds didn't have access to all those women before. But now he has access to all those women because he's with you. Well, what happens when a male didn't have access to all this money before, but now he has access to all this money? Okay. You think he's going to be faithful because of you? Let's make it make sense. Right? That's what I'm saying.
Never knew how to speak to women, how to attract the women, and therefore the moment they get you, they feel on top of the world, thinking they can do better, thinking they can get more out of this, thinking they deserve more. Just like a lot of women these days. A lot of women these days feel very entitled. A lot of women these days generally think they're princesses, but at the end of the day, if you look at them,
this male is homo. He does not like women.
Saying, yeah, but where is the table? And we've created this false narrative. We've created this narrative where most women are not even taking responsibility anymore, and they're constantly blaming it on men. And this becomes very dangerous because if you take away
that's what I'm saying. These males are so degenerate. Constantly blaming it on men. No, we actually do a better job of keeping ourselves accountable than you do. The amount of, even just on my channel alone, the amount of posts I make, even on this video, I'm like, look, why does she look like that? She looks ridiculous looking at that male like that. You know, women do a very good job actually of keeping, well, at least if you watch channels on social media of keeping other women accountable. It's a little bit, sometimes it's a little bit too much. You know, like the women start hating on each other. When it goes too far. Okay. It's males that don't know what the definition of accountability is. Even now in this video, you can't take responsibility for one of your own degenerate species cheating on his so-called wife, who is 4 months pregnant with his baby. Even now, you can't take accountability for that, you degenerate male. But yet you want to come here and preach to us about accountability. This is what I'm saying. It's not possible, y'all. You can't even have peace with the males here because they'll get you so riled up. Like your patience will just go. I don't have the patience for this. What is this? It's like his brain isn't working, but he claims to be so smart. Attacking women left, right, center, like someone is forcing him. Sir, no one is forcing you. Go tap your bros on the shoulder and piss off. Like, I don't get it. What's the problem?
Responsibility from yourself, it becomes very hard to find out what went wrong. And in this instance, the thing that went wrong is that she was way out of his league. Wizardless was out of the league of Landon. She gave a nerdy, scrawny-looking guy an opportunity, thinking that he'll be loyal. But the truth is, just because a guy might be nerdy does not mean he'll be loyal. A lot of guys simply have zero options. The moment they get the opportunity to do something, they'll end up doing it because they never had to build themselves up.
They tell on themselves. A lot of guys actually have zero options, y'all. I'm sorry, but it's true, though. Even for me, like, I don't know. They're just weirdos. If you have zero options and there's no woman there, I see it in the same way. It creeps me out more. If there's no women there, if you don't have any options of women, oh God, I just can't. I can't do it. But they did it to themselves. They did it to themselves. Why are you whining to us? He looks like the Princess of Persia. Exactly, Looney 28. Super guy. Seriously. Yeah, the broke male version.
Build myself up from nothing. I know this because I used to be a nerdy looking guy. I came from nothing. I've seen.
Oh, y'all, he's repeated that like how many times has he said that? I used to be a nerdy looking guy. I used to be a nerd. Sir, you're still a nerdy guy. You can't get over it. Get therapy. Seek help. Okay, because you got to change more than just your surface. Okay, and your surface still looks like garbage. That jacket is like 10 times your size. It's eating you up. Okay, let me stop. Okay, because I don't know. I drift into roasting. I don't know why, but it's like, listen. You're still a nerdy looking guy. He's so insecure. That's like the 10th time he's telling us that. Yes, sir, we heard you the first time. Oh my gosh.
Things when they get a little bit of attention. And I don't want to sound like a complete douchebag here, because to be quite honest, I don't really care. But the truth is, if I look at myself, I've had opportunities to date supermodels, 10 out of 10 baddies, the prettiest women in the world. But even then, because I know it wouldn't have lasted, I've just been straight up and blunt. I'm like, hey, look, this is the situation. I'm not going to give you more attention simply because I've got my life in order and I'm focused on me. What happens is that if you find a guy that gives you a lot of attention and he ends up revolving his whole life around you, that can be quite dangerous. You want to find a man that's living his own life. He does not really need you in your life. You do not really need him in your life because you're building your own life as a woman. And then you decide to come together to build something bigger and something greater. And a lot of times what ends up happening is when you tell these girls, yeah, I'm busy. I'm building my business empire. I'm busy. I'm focused on me.
He's such an idiot. He's such an idiot. Like, what kind of like moron? No, it doesn't work the same for women. It doesn't work the same. Like, the males keep thinking that women are the same as males. No. If a woman is going to choose a partner amongst the male species, it makes no sense for her to choose a male species that won't prioritize her. It doesn't make sense. That's a male species that's setting her up for abuse, okay? Because we all know how the males operate. They're like hunters by nature, okay? If he ain't hunting, by prioritizing you, it's not going to work. You're not going to be happy there. You're just going to have to fake it till you make it, okay? It's not the same for males, okay? Males, you can, even males that have 10 businesses, corporations, companies, when they see something they want, guess what they're doing? They're making it happen. They're not just like, oh, because males, that's what they are by nature. Predators. Okay. So no, from a woman's perspective, it's not in her best interest to choose a male he's basically telling women to choose a male that doesn't give a crap, prioritizes himself. He's gay, bro. He moves like a male. Like, he tries to move like a female. He's trying to move like a woman. He doesn't even understand what a real man looks like from the perspective of a woman. Why do you think that predator had to ambush that girl in the airport, making books and being all creepy, right? Because that's what a woman is going to look for. She's going to look for, does he prioritize me? And so he, in his predatory ways, you know, he's trying to fake that to the best, or he faked that to the best of his ability. So no, you walking around, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like find someone that I don't care about just to end up abusing them. The male's a degenerate, y'all. I mean, seriously.
From my family, I'm focused on quote unquote us. They get pissed off. They feel very entitled to your attention. Wait, I am special. I'm a princess. How dare he put his business, his life over me? I should be priority number one.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
If you're priority number one,
that's
you
not
can
gonna
also
work.
very quickly become priority number second,
No.
because there might be another
No,
one.
it's not even like you've been together, unless you've been together for a significant amount of time. And even then, that's not gonna work. That's a recipe for abuse for women. They can't choose a male species based off of that. It doesn't make sense for them to do that. Okay.
That he can replace you with. And therefore, that's why it's so important to find a man that is focused. It's so important to find a real masculine man that is focused on something greater, something bigger. Not someone that would be satisfied with, oh, look, I've got the prettiest girl in the world. Now I'm satisfied. Because if I was one of those guys, I would have settled for the first pretty girl. And guess what would happen? When the second pretty girl would have come, he'll be very tempted to.
So he's basically telling y'all, like, look, all males cheat. If he's saying that males are never satisfied, then what does that mean? Okay, even if he's with you, he's not going to be satisfied with you. He's not going to be satisfied with you. That's what he's describing. Okay, so all males cheat. Moral of the story, they all do the same thing. That's basically what that's what I'm saying. All you have to do is listen. Like, you can't see my ear. You see my ear right there. Listen to the words that come out of their own mouths. Okay, if all you can do is pursue, and you can't even prioritize the woman that you say or claim to want, you're not that useful, sir. And now you're basically just telling us that you're just going to cheat. You're just going to go out there and keep cheating. Nothing's going to be good enough, probably because you refuse to go to therapy and work on all of these insecurities that you clearly have, right?
Going for her. And that's the reality of these loser, nerdy, soy boy looking guys.
Girl, he got something against nerds, big time.
And then end up cheating because you couldn't control your lust. And this is essentially what happens if you bait. Too many women are not logical anymore. They think, okay, I found this one. Or sometimes they're very logical with a large group of men. But once they find their type, once they find someone they can trust, they instantly let their guard down. And this is very dangerous. And the reason I'm saying this is because I experience these types of women all the time. There's a lot of women that say, yeah, I don't like men these days. Men are weak. Men are not masculine anymore. But when they end up meeting me, when they even go on a date with me for the first time, they're like, whoa, you're so different than most men. You're so
oh my God. This is why I hate these males. These males of this generation are garbage. This whole video, it's like he's doing an ad for himself. Oh, when they meet me for confidence that he doesn't even have. He's literally trying to fake it till he makes it. Oh yeah, because I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, sir. No, you're not. Can you just like get to the point? Right? That's why so one of the most important things to notice about this way of what he's saying, another thing that he's proving, is that males get their confidence from women. That's where their confidence comes from. That's where they need women for ego. They need women for ego. That's why a lot of them end up hating women and feeling like women did something to them just because most women are like, no thanks. Or the women that they might want are like, no thanks, right? Then they end up incels, abusing women all over the place, because the only way they can get the ego that they need, which feeds them, is from women. Right. And so he doesn't have any, that's what I'm saying. A lot of males are just kind of empty, unfortunately. I mean, but that's just truth. Internally, it's like walking empty vessels. Like they're just empty. They can't take any of these core things like ego, self-confidence. They can't take it from themselves. Like women are able to take that from internally. You know, the self-aware, the ones that are awake, they don't need to get the validation from the males. It's like pygmishas, right, that try to get that from males and then realize, oh, you can't get it from a male. The males are built differently by nature. They literally just can't get it from anywhere else if it's not from women. Right. And that's where a lot of that resentment comes from when it comes to the male species. Girl, now he's living in that car. Looney 28 said he's living in that car. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't be surprised. So he's talking about like, oh, you know, and every 2 seconds he's trying to say how all these women want him. Notice how every 2 seconds he's like, yeah, all these women want me. Yeah, all these women want me. And it's like, sir, what are you even saying? Like, first of all, I just can't do, like, what is going on? Like, these males are just so lost. It's not possible today, y'all. It's not possible. And if you're a woman that's like brainless, you'll be sitting there nodding your head like this. Oh yeah. Because you haven't exercised your common sense, right?
Myself, but even to every single one of these women, I always tell them, still, just be careful. It's only been the first time. Just because you feel,
don't tell them nothing. We don't. This is another thing males do that really pisses me off. Don't tell me nothing. I don't want to hear nothing from you, a degenerate male species. Literally. I don't even know why they keep trying to tell women what to do. It's so off-putting. With all those decades and centuries of enslaving women, you don't feel the ick trying to tell women what to do? It takes me back to maybe you're trying to enslave me again. No thanks. They're not even cautious with the words that they use. No, don't tell us anything. You're not a woman. I told, like in the beginning of the video, he already started it from a woman and a female's perspective. You don't even know that you're homo. You haven't found that out yet. You're about to find out. You'll find out soon. Being dressed and looking like that. You're going to find out soon if you haven't found out yet. Right? Trying to tell things from the women's perspective. You're not even a woman. Let's see if he says anything else, because I'm just like roasting him at this point.
I am the right person for you. You should still be skeptical. Good things take time. Women love the idea.
He said good things take time.
But do not let any ordinary men lead. Do not fall for the tricks of ordinary men, because good things really do take time.
So he's saying he's not an ordinary man. Sir, goodbye. What is that? Like, one of his eye is super shiny. Do y'all see that? Like, it's super shiny right here, but the other one is not shiny. Girl, I can't. Let me see some of these comments as we start to wrap up here, okay? Someone said, girlies, let's just stay single. It looks like there's no safe option. That's what I'm saying. When the males, the males, they just can't help themselves. It's like, look, sir, the more you talk, the more women you're going to repulse, because the women are going to be like, what? Because you don't have a woman's perspective. You can't have that. You're not a woman. You're not going to be able to do it. You can't fake it. You can have that. You know, the Megan Thee Stallion, do y'all think that's a male? I don't know. I've been hearing from everywhere that Megan Thee Stallion is a male. I'm starting to believe it, though. No offense, but I'm starting to believe it, because all this trouble that's befalling Megan Thee Stallion, I think that's how you say her name. Hopefully I'm not mispronouncing it. I'm kind of like, are you part of the male species? Because it's one thing after the other with the males, and the fact that you're getting entangled in that and everyone keeps bringing this up is giving me side eye, especially since you're in the entertainment industry. And we know how the entertainment industry gets down. Right? She said, girlies, let's just stay single. Wait, where was I going with that? Megan Thee Stallion is a male. What did that have to do with? I was going somewhere with that, but I can't remember. Anyway, so some more of these comments say, nah, I would rather be celibate and turn into a monk. See, more and more of the women are like, nah, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, not a male. A horse too. The combination of Sonia, the combination, that's a savage combination. I believe you, though. Didn't expect Zayn Malik to talk about this, but okay, I guess. Yeah, the women are roasting him. The males don't know how to the males don't know when to shut up, bruh. They don't know when to shut up. I left something here about him being gay, but he might have deleted it. You know me, I'd be super messy. I think I left it on like one of my other accounts. I was like, sir, you look kind of gay to me. He might have deleted it though. He was like, oh, they trolling on my account. I don't like Liz was looking for a nerdy guy specifically. It just happened to be this way. I guess the ones that were looking for nerdy guys are like, never mind too. Liz spoke up for Palestine. She spoke up for Muslims who are refugees because she was one. She didn't deserve this. Girl. The males just need to learn when to be quiet. Stay out of women's business. So you see, he's getting demolished in the comment section. Y'all, he's getting demolished in these comment section. Women are demolishing him. Good Lord. And you know that following is insane. That's 7 million youngins. You know, the youngins of today, they don't play these games. So y'all, let me see what else is on here. Who broke her home, bro? A man. It was a father. Stop with your BS. It's not her fault at all. How TF are you going to tell female perspective? How the F are you going to tell the female's perspective? Like, that's what I'm saying. So he said something about fathers. Y'all, what did this degenerate know?
Character building. I go to the boxing gym 2 times per week. Find a man that is focused. It's so important to find a real masculine man that is focused on something greater, something bigger. Not someone that would be satisfied with, oh, look, I've got the prettiest.
Oh, the cringe. Trying to tell the female perspective.
Guess what would happen?
F
when the
you,
second
bro.
video would have come, you'll be very tempted to end up going for her. That's the reality of these loser, nerdy, soy boy looking guys. And as a woman, you cannot accept this type of men. You need to have higher standards. Just like I always
don't tell me what to do. Like, shut your degenerate. Oh, boy, I swear, these males. This is why I had to accept my singleness, because it's like, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't make it.
A lot of women get very pissed off when I say I've got standards. But even as a woman, you should have standards. The standards should be about priorities, about morals, about character, because those are the most important things.
He said something about fathers. I want to see what he said.
How can you cheat on your wife with at least that's 4 months pregnant? I simply do not understand why men jump into relationships, have a girlfriend, have a wife, if you simply cannot commit. I'm 25 years old right now. Just like I previously mentioned, I could have had supermodels, 10 out of 10 baddies, the best and the prettiest woman in the world, but yet I still chose to be single. Matter of fact, I've never been in a real relationship in my life. And the reason for this is because I got standards. I'm not going to commit to someone if I do not think it will last for the long term.
Boy, the reason for that is you gay. You're still trying to figure it out.
End up going for someone because they think they can't get better. End up going for someone because they think, yeah, she is a lifetime opportunity for me. Stop putting yourself in these types of situations. As a man, you need to have standards. The moment you do not have standards for yourself, you will start to see your decline. You will start to see your downfall. And this is simply what happened with Landon. He could not control his lust. He could not control his emotions. And as a man, you must be able to control your emotions. You must be able to control your lust. If you cannot even control the basic necessities as a man, how can you build empires? How can you lead as a man? You can clearly tell who's a leader and who's a follower. It's easy to find out the types of men that are leaders. I know this because I've become a leader.
I've become a leader, he says. Sir, a leader doesn't have to say, I've become a leader. Are these males, are you well? Are you well, sir? A leader doesn't have to say, I become a leader. The people simply follow. You don't have to say, I become a leader, trying to force us to view you as a leader. Y'all, where's this father part? That's the part I want.
What kind of pressure do you think this brings? I cannot fold. I cannot even take the risk of folding. I cannot take the risk of not being emotionally strong. This is what a strong, capable man is. This is how a strong, capable man should be. Therefore, that's why, Landon, you should absolutely be disgusted. You cannot jump into a relationship. You cannot have a wife. You cannot I work every single day. I take no days off.
Oh, this is just insane. He's just talking about himself.
Of entitlement and feeling special. Some might even say that a lot of women are quite narcissistic these days because they think, okay, cool, I got a message on Instagram, I must be special, it might be normal. But don't you think he has messaged a lot of other women as well? That's the first red flag that I see. If I see a man, he's constantly approaching a lot of women, a man that's constantly DMing online, a man even on dating apps, like a lot of it is a big red flag. I'm not saying there's good people out there. There's good people that do approach, there's good people that do DM, there's good people even on dating apps. But too many women are not logical anymore. They think, okay, I found this one, or sometimes they're very logical with a large group of men, but once they find their type, once they find someone they can trust, they instantly let their guard down, and this is very dangerous. And the reason I'm saying this is because I experience these types of women all the time. There's a lot of women that say, yeah, I don't like men these days, men are weak, men are not masculine anymore. But when they end up meeting me, when they even go on a date with me for the first time, they're like, whoa, you're so different than most men.
Oh my God, this guy's
And they shut their
annoying.
brain.
I can't do this. I cannot do
Very
this.
pissed when I say
He's
this,
so
and I do not mean
annoying
this
and
in a bad
degenerate.
way.
Like, the
Because
lack
honestly,
of
it's not
self-confidence is irritating the crap out of me.
your fault. That's the first argument a lot of these women say to me. But what I'm trying to say is, as a man, if you end up going for a woman that did not have a dad figure, that did not come from a huge full family, because for example, myself, both my parents are together. I come from a very, very good family, and you can clearly see it with my character, with my achievements, with the type of person I am, and how I even respect women, respect men, and just hang out with people all around me. But the reality is, a lot of times, if a woman does not come from a huge house, if a woman comes from a broken home, what ends up happening is that she simply does not understand how she should have been treated by a man, and she's going to seek this elsewhere. She's going to create this fake reality in her head, fake reality in her mind of a man, of what she wants in a man. And that's why you see these women with delusional standards, women that think they deserve princess treatment, but they never even experienced love from their dad. And this is very dangerous. And as a man, do not fall victim to these types of women. They've never experienced a dad in their life, and they clearly do not understand how a man should treat them. And this opposite also goes for women. If you are a woman that comes from a broken house, please understand that you do have a disadvantage. You've never...
What do you mean that also goes for women? You've been bashing women this whole time. He said it like he was talking about males, and now he's switching the focus to women. Meanwhile, if we were to sit down and ask him, well, that's funny because you're blaming women for the males deciding to not be with their families. Meanwhile, it was one of your male species that cheated on a woman that was 4 months pregnant with his baby. So you're trying to tell women, oh, if you don't have a father figure, meanwhile, over 90% of you males are complete garbage. This is why I don't have patience with males. Like with women, I might say things kind of like a little bit calmer, like that during the intro, when I was like, I don't understand this whole tax situation. That was me like saying it a little bit, but I don't have the same level of patience with these males. I cannot do it because it's like, you're talking about women that don't have fathers, you're insulting women, you're berating women, and yet you're trying to convince us that you are the quality, that you are quality. Sir, you're a degenerate male. You're complete garbage because you've been insulting women this whole time, trying to convince the same people that you're oppressing and insulting that they should choose you, that you are what quality looks like. Not even understanding the irony of the idiocracy that's coming out of your mouth. All these fatherless women, most women are fatherless. Meanwhile, fathers are males. So what does that mean? You are the problem. Even with the situation you're talking about now, the lady is 4 months pregnant, and it was one of your bros that cheated on her while she was 4 months pregnant. Are you well? This is what I'm saying. Like, oh my God, don't let me have because I have a ton of free time. So whenever I have to stay off of Instagram on purpose because I be firing them up and I be like, like a little kid in a candy store, just like causing havoc on there, like just mayhem, right? It's crazy. But it's like, what are you talking about? Even the data supports this. If you had any brain whatsoever, you'd at least look at the data of the nonsense that you're talking about. Okay. Most women, and I've covered this in a different live, I think, most women end up coming, like as they age, their life ends up looking somewhat the same as it would have looked like whether the father is there or not. Now, that's not saying that they don't suffer from psychological effects or from things that they have to go to therapy for or whatever the case may be, right? But for the most part, it doesn't greatly derail their entire being just because a male wasn't there as a father figure. The data says that the ones that are the most impacted by the male father figure not being there are, guess who? The males. They are the ones where there's a direct correlation based on the studies between whether they end up in jail and if they have a father there. It's the males. And it makes sense as you start to think about it. The males operate on what? The males operate how? A hierarchy. A hierarchy. That's how the patriarchy is built. It's based off of a hierarchy. So it only stands to reason that they would be the ones that are more greatly affected if there's not a male figure there that they can look at, because they operate off of a hierarchy. The males, I can't, like, they're just so dumb. Like, you're stupid. I'm sorry. Like, what the heck?
Experience the love from a dad. You've never experienced how to be cared for, being looked after by a man, and therefore you should also realize that most likely you do not understand what a real man should be, and therefore it's very important.
You're not a real man. You don't even know what that looks like. You're just a degenerate talking nonsense. Okay, so the ladies in the comments are saying like, oh yeah, so let's just go ahead and stay single, ladies. I wonder if I can zoom in on these, because these are just, they're terminating him in these comment sections right here. Boy, he's getting terminated. Like, no case. Oh my God. It's so sad that so many men are weak. Men don't realize women constantly have better options. Fitter, hotter, richer, but we have the better self-control as we have more emotions. So we're used to not acting on our impulses. No, he doesn't realize that because he's a degenerate male. Okay. The only ones that they can get are pygmishas. And then they walk around here thinking that all the women are on the same level. Well, no, that's not the case. That's not the case, right? It's insane. Oh man, I bet you he didn't see this coming. These women. And this guy, I think this guy might be a part of the manosphere, actually. So the fact that all these women are here terminating him, wild, because women do not go into the manosphere. But it's because he put this, he's talking about the wizard Liz. He shouldn't have talked, he should have just stayed away from this topic because he's getting annihilated. I left a comment. He might have deleted my comment because I told him he was gay. Yeah, I just was like, oh, I think you're gay. It was like one sentence where I was like, it's not anything they said. I'm so petty. Let me see. What else is here? Look, WTF, what are you even saying? Someone said, WTF, what are you even saying? Trying to be a philosopher or what? Don't talk your life experiences and your perspective, because that's the dumbest thing I've heard today. Bruh, these women are coming in hot, hotter than me. Good Lord. They're terminating this guy. Look, you're presenting this thing as someone who was at the epitome of women. World got cheated. You're presenting this thing as someone who was at the epitome of women world got cheated on by the guy who was on the rock bottom of men's world. I think what she's trying to say here is that the guy that cheated on her is a degenerate or something. I don't know. Listen, it's very simple. A woman is cheated on by a man, brah. They're cooking this guy. This guy is being roasted. Oh, I thought I was roasting. Well, this guy's being cooked in the comments section. I mean, like, you should have just don't do it. Just don't do it. Like, oh, and then on top of that, you're a male. That's a double sin. Like, that's a double sin. You know, that's a double sin. Listen, it's so simple. A woman is cheated on by a male. Nothing he said made any sense. He was contradicting himself the whole time. Oh, a real man is one that prioritizes his work over you. Are you high? Now we start to see why over 70% of all divorces are initiated by women, because the males are degenerates. What do you mean? Are you high? And you plan to take care of a woman and children. You want to bring them here. But yet you say fatherless behavior. Fatherless behavior, the father's not there. The father's not there. If you're spending all your time working and you claim to be a father, what kind of father are you? You're not even there with the child. So then all the labor, we start to see why all the labor of child caring falls on the woman. You see, it's all connected. They tell them themselves. But yet you think you're a good father. You can't even prioritize the woman that you've chosen, the family that you've chosen to start. You see what I'm saying? Like, the males are degenerates. So this comment goes on to say, there are and should not be any adjectives, right? Why make efforts if you just want to brag about what you want through your life and struggles you face? This is what we've been saying. They cooked them. They cooked them in the comments section. Lunch and dinner, right? Lunch and dinner. This is insane. That little confidence that he thought he had built, crashing down. That little confidence, that little non-existent confidence, gone. Want to brag about your life and the struggles you faced and the person that you think that you've become. You at present is what matters, not the past. I don't know. This guy just thinks he's some big shot. She says, this guy just thinks he's some big shot, preaching things in a way that is toxic and destructive. Bro, you can't even play these women anymore. Oh my God. When I'm telling you, the males are never, like, they'll be lucky to see Punani at this rate because they don't even know when to be quiet. They don't know when to be quiet. This lady has over 7 million followers on YouTube alone, and it's all women, myself included. And I don't even listen to her. Like, I ran into her one time and I was like, oh, I get what she does or whatever. I have her on my Instagram. And I was like, yeah, good vibes, but I don't really listen. But I'm there. And the males don't even know when to chirp. That's a lot of eyeballs. That's like all the women. Like, all the women are right there. Okay, she must have something, right? Because there's a lot of women that like her. And you over here just, girl, he got demolished. You at present is what matters. I don't know. This guy just thinks he's a big shot, preaching things in a way that is toxic and destructive. It would have been better if you had sympathized with her and made a video that does not separate the world in pieces and actually try to establish trust and love in the heart of all, bruh. He's done. He is done. Let's not romanticize relationships because I fear she's out herself in dangerous situations. Yup. That's what I said. That male that she was with, that's a dangerous male. I'm like, that's a psychopath. You couldn't see any emotion in that so-called apology. There was nothing there. Meanwhile, this girl is pregnant with his kid, and there was literally zero emotion there. That's scary. That's literally scary. And then the males, it's like they just want you to have a dead body sitting there in the house. It's even worse for the children to be around a male that claims to be a father just because he's in the house with the wife, but he's not doing anything to help actually raise the child or even care about the child or even modeling a good example for the child. You're useless. You're dead weight. You're literally dead weight. You're literally causing more damage than good. That's why 70% of divorces are initiated by women. But let the males tell the story, and the males tell the story, oh, I'm the best dad ever because I'm sitting here being dead weight, mistreating the mother in the house. Insane, y'all. Oh, look. Ooh, wait. So she says, man's character is revealed when his wife/girlfriend is pregnant. A woman never forgets how her man has treated her during pregnancy. These males are not going to make it. They're not going to make it out of this one. They ain't going to make it out of this one. Nope. Oh my God, look. Another one that says, this is a whole library, girl. So women who had abusive fathers don't know how a man should love them? Is that what you're saying? Just because you are from a good family doesn't give you the right to be judgmental about people who aren't, girl. Lunch and dinner. I thought I was bad, girl. Girl. Okay. In fact, I've seen good families produce criminals, because at the end of the day, no matter how good or bad your parents are and your family is, it's up to the individual to be a good person and heal from their traumas. You just confirmed to me that as a woman, we should never disclose our traumas and our family problems to men, because why would we start to think in this narrow, judgmental way that isn't even true at all? Period. Okay. He's getting cooked. This is a whole novel, okay? Honestly, without empathy is cruelty. You think you're honest, but you lack empathy, clearly. How about pointing out the obvious elephant in the room? There's no safe option from me. This is what I said. I said, is this guy high? The males all do the same thing. Story after story, but then they act like they can't see. They act blind. It's just like that whole gay situation. They in Hollywood, they go around calling Cassie 304. They call her a HOE, a 304, this, that, and that. Meanwhile, Dusty Didi was having males' private stuff rubbed on his chest. Okay, sleeping with every male he could get his hands on. But I didn't hear any of the males calling him a 304. This is how degenerate this species is. This is why my tolerance for them is so low. So low. How about pointing at yeah, exactly. There are no safe options. Exactly. And reliable women should stay away from all males. And how our society oppresses women. Look, listen. I guess this is why they walk around calling me a feminist. It's not me trying to be a feminist. It's just common sense. Okay. It's literally just common sense. Look, the males are done. This was it. They see it as a win. You thought the birth rates were plummeting? Baby. We'll see how this goes, right? You can't see that because you're way up into the red pill world view, which is just beliefs, not reality. You need to go deeper and try to live your life in a woman's shoe to gain some empathy. And before you blame women for the crap that their fathers pulled, maybe ask why so many males and so many so-called fathers are garbage. Girl, I'm paraphrasing because she put some, words here. She put some words, some colorful language in here. So I've been paraphrasing, right? Why so many males assume the people they should protect? Girl, she's about to make my headband fall off. Okay, my little headband, my little princess headband. Why do these males assume their wives and kids? Why do these males cheat on their pregnant wives and then claim that they're good fathers? It's all dependent on the father, right? Why they impregnate women and leave just like animals? Girl, they are animals. As a matter of fact, I think they're lower than that, because even animals have some type of decency and respect in the way they move. There is a reason for it that's beyond just I feel like I'm better than you, so let me oppress you and step on you, right? Even animals have a code they follow. These males have nothing. Nothing. I told y'all, this guy's a part of the manosphere. It is unheard of for women to be in the manosphere, but he decided to be brave and put this title and started talking about this topic that he should have just been quiet about. But he wanted to be brave, right? He wanted to play brave. And most important question is, so she goes on to say, and the most important question is if it's natural for a male to lead. Ooh, baby. Oh God. If it's natural for a male to lead and be a leader, they should have already done it. They should have already done it. Period. Okay. Why are so many males weak? And why are so many losers around that they they feel like they have to assume people with less power than them and abandon their families? That is not a leader. That is not a leader. If men were leaders, women wouldn't have daddy issues. I've been saying this all over Instagram. Having a good old time. I had to separate all my Instagram accounts because I'd be like having a little bit too much fun. Woo! That's the only time I use Instagram is if I'm ready to roast a male. Like if I'm having a bad day and I'm like, I don't have bad days, but if I'm stressed out or something, like I'll just go in there and I'll just roast the male on Instagram. Super easy. Like, you the one, because they're in women's spaces. You don't even have to go looking for them. They inject themselves right there. Like this guy right here. They'll come to our faces and try to tell, look, they literally will put themselves in the woman's face. Girl, too easy. That's not a leader. If men were leaders, women wouldn't have daddy issues or speaking out against men in this way. It's clear being a leader is not natural for men. This is clear. Right? Feminism happened because men weren't good providers. They weren't good husbands. They are not good leaders. Feminism happened because men are not good providers. They are not good fathers, and they are not good husbands. It's a myth that men are leaders. Mothers are better leaders. Cooked them, roasted them, okay? Grilled them completely. He's done. KO. Demolished. Oh, God. This is just insane. Look, there's one woman here with 3 likes trying to support this guy. Love is possible. She said, love is possible. Be careful of the ones who look innocent. Look, this is what I said. 40 likes. This guy's getting roasted in here. He has like 1 or 2 likes that are trying to support him, and then all 1 or 2 comments that are trying to support him, and then all the other comments just overshadow because the women are like, the heck are you talking about? I mean, they just pour in. She says, so the men with many options won't settle and the guys with no options won't stay faithful? No, men are the problem. That's what I said. I said, what is he talking about? Males that have money cheat and then they put their hands on you and abuse you. We can see that through Hollywood. The very system, this system is garbage. They're trying to make that Destiny case into a domestic violence case because they view domestic violence as nothing. It's less, who cares? So their strategy in that Destiny case is to lessen the charges by making it a domestic violence case. Think about that. That lessens the charges. That's literally what they're trying to do. The males don't give a flying F about women. They don't care about women, and they dang sure don't care about children. I'm trying to tell you, they don't care, right? It's insane. There shouldn't be a safe option. Going into a relationship, it should be the standard that your partner is loyal and faithful. Y'all, it just keeps going on and on and on. I'm saying, like, you get one or two comments that try to defend him, and all the other comments are just like plummeting this guy to the ground. There shouldn't be a safe option. Going to a relation, so I just read that. Hope the baby is healthy, because cheating can cause health issues for her and for the baby. But men be egotistic as usual. Look at this. They are roasting this guy. This guy's over with. Many of these wimpy men choose, I'm not even skipping comments, y'all. I'm not even, like, it's insane. I'm not even skipping comments. Many of these wimpy males choose confident women to be their partners. This wimpy male with no money, no success, no following, especially compared to her, he targeted her. That's what we've been talking about this whole video. He stalked her. How much do you want to bet that this degenerate male has been stalking her for only God knows how long? He specifically targeted that girl. He targeted her because he's a predator and he's a degenerate male. I say this all the time. I keep telling y'all that they are degenerates for sure. For sure. To an outside perspective, it may seem like he is her bigger supporter. No, it don't seem like that from an outside perspective. Not at all. That's demonic energy. Maybe at first, but as the relationship progresses, very often you will see the man become bitter and resentful of her because his ego feels threatened by his wife's growing success. Then you will see them act out more controlling and be more selfish and act out more selfish behaviors that wear the woman down and damage the relationship. In conclusion, his admiration of her was really envy, and he used her as proxy to fulfill his ego and need for status. What'd I tell y'all? I said that woman that he was texting with, he tried to get that woman before he got engaged to the wizard Liz. And he wasn't able to get her. But now that he's engaged with the wizard Liz, he thought to himself, oh, that gives me status. Let me try it again. Because you know that this degenerate male knows that those pictures are all over Instagram. He didn't forget. He put those pictures there on purpose because it gives him status. He targeted her on purpose. That's why I always call them predators, because it's literal. Yup. So let's start wrapping up here. I'm kind of getting a little hungry talking about cooking because this guy got roasted alive, big time. Liz spoke up for Palestine. Yeah, we already read that. I don't think Liz is looking for a nerdy guy specifically. It just happened to be this way. Y'all, he's not nerdy. I keep saying this guy's a predator. He was pretending. That is not a nerdy male. That's why we're confused. Are you gay or you're a nerd? Because you keep doing this thing and it's hard to tell. That's red flag number one. I don't know who you are. Like, what are you? Right? Like, this guy is a complete psychopath. He totally faked it. I'm convinced, I could put money on it, that he faked the whole persona to appear more nerdy because he felt like that's what would hook her the easiest. How much do you want to bet? Dating is so complicated. I'd rather be a cat lady. It's much better, girl. Girl, these males are done for. It's over with. The law of attraction is a delusion. I don't think the law of attraction is a delusion. Daughter of Darkness, thanks for joining. I think the law of attraction is not a delusion unless the woman herself is delusional, right? If you what is a male going to do for you? You're trying to attract a male species, your own natural predator. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make sense. I think the law of attraction, to me, I feel like what it consists of, what it's made up of is taking steps to actually get to that goal. So you're basically attracting what you want by taking the steps necessary to get to your goal. But you can't apply, I don't know, I think you have to be kind of logical. You can't apply that to a male species. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't do anything for you. But yeah, I see your point, girl. See your point. I heard he brought up about the twin flames, and I knew he was BSing, girl. No. As soon as a male brings up the twin flames, baby, I'd be like, uh-huh. And I'm one of those, because, you know, the males say all the time, it's only online. This women against males thing is only online. It's not in real life. And I'm like, this is another sign that these males are so degenerate. It's surreal. That's another sign that they're so stupid. How can it be? It's online because that's where we feel the safest expressing it. We're not going to go around in the middle of the street, you know, calling you a degenerate. We're going to do it online. Because it's safer. So if you're not seeing it out in the streets, that's because the women just aren't telling you. But this is what most women are starting to see, and this is how they actually feel about you. You hear the rawest truths here online. That's the point. They're not going to say it to you in the middle of the street so you can unalive her because you lack emotional control. Right? So the males are walking around trying to pretend like it's not happening, even though all the numbers and all the statistics are clearly telling them that's what's happening. The declining birth rates, that's what's happening. The declining marriage rates, that's what's happening. It's happening. Right? That's crazy. If you were to brought up twin flames, I'd have been like, heck nah. But yeah, I feel like the law of attraction can be real if you're not using it, if you're not trying to like attract nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, because the law of attraction is an emotional way of saying work on your goals. You know, like, it's basically just like an emotional way of saying like attract what you want by work, because you can't just sit down in your couch and then it comes to you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to like make some moves to get there. So maybe it's I don't know if it's a patriarchal construct or what, but it's just one of those emotional things that humans slapped that label on, you know. And what you don't want to do is be working towards nonsense like a male species. What's that gonna do for you? You know? But yeah, ladies, I mean, what do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? You know? Oh, look, and then males wonder why women are joining the sprinkle movement, girl. And then males wonder why women are joining the sprinkle movement. You know, attract some money. I guess. That's funny. I've never heard of a father figure, and I've never even felt like I lacked one, to be honest. They're just stupid. Like, it's like, do you ever even read any statistics? Like, literally, it's right there. All you have to do is read. It's right there. The women are women. We're not males. We don't need a father figure. Like, we don't operate like males. That's why most of them fail so drastically when it comes to the parenting thing. They're so bad at it. The males are just so bad at it. You know, it's the males that need a father figure. It's not women. We could benefit from having a good one. It would be a good experience and nice. But most of the time, women are able to still manage to do pretty okay with their lives regardless. You know, they might have to go to therapy, or they might have to do this or process through it. But because women all have all that emotional processing stuff most of the time, they're able to do a lot better. They don't really need that in the same way that males do most of the time, you know, statistically speaking, right? Oh, this is fast coming. You don't know. You're pregnant by this stranger man. Oh, Liz gives a lot of advice, but she seems to not follow her own advice. Look, there's someone that's saying that she doesn't follow her own advice. Yep. So y'all, it's a shame and such you guys eat it. A nerdy man will not cheat. A bad person will. You can be a nerdy guy. Yeah, he kept going in on nerds. I think that's self-hate. He just hates himself. I mean, that's self-hate. You gotta get some help. You know what I mean? Like, there's something going on there. But yeah, that's where we're at, y'all. It's insane. You know, so let me know what y'all think, you know. Oh, it's law of attraction delusion. That's what Daughters of Darkness, that's what you said. I thought you said the law of attraction is a delusion, but no, she said it's law of attraction delusion. That's kind of what I said, where it's like, yeah, the law of attraction can only be delusional if she's delusional, right? Yeah, I agree. Agreed for sure. Yeah, so y'all, let me know what your thoughts are on this whole situation, but this is where we're at. I think the next live, we're going to cover yet another cheating scandal. And I'm pretty sure y'all would have heard this name as well, because they were huge YouTubers, and the male ended up cheating on her. I think she might have contracted something, some type of whatever she contracted or whatever. We might cover that, or we might cover something else. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm thinking that might be what we cover, because we have to cover these real world examples. But I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this where all the women are just like demolishing this guy. I've never seen it, because women usually don't do this, especially not in the middle of a manosphere. So that tells me he should have he should learn how to mind his own business, because that's how he got himself in this predicament. That's how he got himself in this predicament with all these pissed women out here. Let me see. They are like cooking. They're cooking him. Looks have nothing to do with loyalty. You see what I'm saying? So basic. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is he talking about? Looks. So males are very superficial. They're very superficial, right? Talking about looks, this and that, and they swear they know what women want. They swear they know what you want. They swear they know what women want, because their entire existence depends on what women thinks about them. Yet we're the ones they try to oppress. Yet you can't even seem to exist. You don't even know how to live your life without what women think about you, to the point where you unalive women left, right, center. Because your ego just can't take it. I'm telling you, these males are scary, y'all. At this point, would you bring a kid onto this planet? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? It just makes it hard to feel like it's safe enough to bring a kid here, no matter how much you might want to experience that. But even if you do, I feel like do it by yourself. I always say that. Just do it by yourself. And I don't know, but at this point, I used to be one of those people that I couldn't even imagine, like, what is it called? Terminating a pregnancy. I couldn't even imagine it until I became a doctor. And I was like, it might be for the best for you to think about that and really make sure as to what you want to do. Because this is what you're bringing the kid into. And the genes you're replicating, if you already see what those genes are, that's that much more that child will have to fight. I mean, you'll have to get really, really, really lucky. Ordained by Mother Nature herself. You know what I mean? So it just ends up being this thing where I feel like, I don't know, you're going to see the birth rates plummet even more. Sonia says it's not wise to bring life these days with all these male predators around. Shaking my head. Yeah, Sonia, I agree. It's a shame, because one of the reasons it's such a big shame is because women are by nature nurturers. They nurture. That's what they enjoy to do. So one of the things that, if this wasn't the world that we live in, one of the things that they would love to do is nurture, right? But you can't do that in this world. In the middle of this patriarchy, in the middle of this hierarchy, you're just going to be losing sleep every day thinking, oh my God, when DV doesn't even matter, Domestic violence doesn't even matter. It matters so little that it's a way to get out of trouble. The Dusty Didi team is literally trying to use it to get out of trouble. They're literally saying it's just a DV case. Who cares? That's how little women matter here, right? Meanwhile, they can't even survive without women, which is insane. Yeah, we can nurture our cats, doggies, plants. I have a plant. I have 2 plants. I'm wanting to get a bird. We'll see. Girl, y'all, I don't know why I struggle so much with taking care of life. Like literally, I think I feel like I'm nervous about the fact that I can't just get up and leave and do what I want. You know, so I don't know. I struggle with that. Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see if I end up getting a bird. A bird. I wish I'm not even kidding, y'all. I'm like, for real. I might end up getting a bird. We'll see. No female animal in nature chooses to have a baby in a hostile environment. That probably accounts for a lot of the plummeting birth rates. Think about Korea, for example. Korea has the lowest birth rate in history. And even then, this is what tells me the males, you can't change the male species. They are what they are. What tells me that is like, even in Korea, where the birth rate is non-existent, y'all, they can't change. That thing just keeps plummeting lower and lower, and they just keep trying to control women more and more. It's like they can't just do better. It's not in their nature. They're very animalistic. And I don't even want to use animalistic because I honestly, genuinely feel like animals are better. I feel like animals are better than the male species. It's unfortunate, but it's just because I feel like at least animals are animals. You know what I mean? Like everything they do is for a specific purpose. It's usually linked to survival. It's not this. This is insane. You know? It's like even the animals are better. I hate to say that. It's a shame. It's a shame, y'all. Yep. Until the child victims come out, remember, not with Trump is trying to pardon Dusty Didi. And I was saying earlier in the live, I'm not surprised that Trump is trying to pardon Dusty Didi because they were all doing it together, y'all. I hate to say that. It's true. And now remember, I am not either. I'm an independent because I've seen through both sides a long time ago. I was like, well, what are you doing for us? Well, what are you doing for us? None of you are actually doing anything that is substantial. Otherwise, we would be, as a collective, in a much better place, right? So what does that mean? That means you're playing games. So I'm not either one. But what I know for a fact is both parties in politics, in the entertainment industry, they're all intertwined. Someone had to have participated in all of these freak-offs and all of these parties. Who was participating in them? Why are we only focused on one degenerate male, right? So I feel like they were all doing it together for sure. Yep. So it applies to us as well. Yep, it does. Agreed. Yep, they can choose. They choose not to. I don't know, man. I feel like they could do better. They could definitely do better than what they're doing now. But I do feel like the males are, as a species, they're just evolved. They really are. I guess they could do better, but they could never really. Oh man, I feel bad saying this, but they can't really do as good as like a woman could. Maybe that's why they call me a feminist, but it's true. If you look at the data, they just can't seem to. They don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't evolve. All these years of oppressing women and children, and you actually literally managed to somehow devolve, which is wild. You know, yeah, they could choose to do a little bit better, but they're always going to be devolved. That's what I think. They're always going to be a devolved species, period. Yup, famous Hollywood victims will dogpile him. Maybe, yeah. Maybe if they choose to pardon him. I don't even know what's going. Like, that Hollywood is like an incest of. I don't even know what. It's like just chock piled with garbage, y'all. Seriously, I don't know what how How do they expect the people to keep believing in their idiotic system if they pardon this guy? I wonder what's going to happen, or are people just going to forget and move on like it never happened? That's the question. That's the question I have. Are people just going to forget, move on like it never happened? Or is it going to accelerate the complete collapse of this entire illusion that they have built here? That's the question. It's insane. Two wings on the same bird. Yeah. So, y'all, that's kind of where we're at with it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I'll put out a poll to see what we cover next. Okay. As usual, we'll see. But, you know, like I said, YouTube is doxing feminist channels that they've labeled as feminist. YouTube is doxing these channels, including mine, right? It's literally just cloning itself through children. I know. It's crazy. Yeah, barbed wire. That's what it's doing. That's why I say when I say, like, look, you just duplicated those genes. You might want to think about that before doing it, right? It's literal. The chromosome itself lacks a lot of chromosomes. Yep, it does. It's literal. You know, at this point, if it were a male, I wouldn't even bother. I'd try again. See if you get a woman. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean, I don't know. But yeah, so this is where we're at. Maybe I'll leave, like, keep track of the community section. I leave quite a bit of updates on there. Thank you to, again, all the members that are supporting the channel. I think I just had 1 or 2 members upgrade their memberships as well. Thank you so much to y'all, because whenever I see those and I see that, it encourages me to try to, like, do more lives, do more videos and stuff like that. Especially with YouTube doxing all what they consider feminist channels now. Insane. But yeah, we'll get online soon again, you know, in a few days per usual. I don't want to say Tuesday because I've been missing that mark. Girl, I've been missing that mark. So just keep track of the community section because I'll always post it on there when we're going live, right? Yeah, so check that out. Check out the Patreon. I'm hoping that at some point we can start building the Patreon. I think there might have, like, a few members in there so far. And yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm going to go see what I can get to eat. I'm going to rest this weekend. I had a long week still, so I'm going to see if I can get some rest in. I think you mean targeting. Targeting what, Sonia? Targeting what? Maybe. Yeah. So anyways, y'all, like, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get something to eat. I'm, like, kind of hungry. Yeah. Doxing is posting. Oh, yeah. That's what I mean, Sonia. When I say YouTube channels, yeah, that's what that means. When I say doxing, that's what it means. It means targeting. Yeah, doxing is posting your info. They are shadow banning you. Oh, okay. Doxing. Really? Doxing means something different? Yeah, they're shadow. That's what I mean, Sonia and So King B. They're shadow banning my channel, right? Suppressing the channel. That's what they're doing. That's correct. So King B and Sonia. So to clarify that. They're shadow banning the channel and suppressing the channel. It's like a fight, y'all. Like, oh my God, insane. They really are. They're really trying to, like, I don't know. It's like, it feels like they're trying to enslave us. It's like they literally want us in slavery. It's wild. Yeah. Anyways, you guys, so I'll post again in the community section. Keep track there. Yeah. Doxing is posting your address and phone emails. Oh, okay. You get attacked by crazy people. Oh, okay. So doxing is when your personal information. There's this one YouTube channel that I saw when I was on YouTube, and he got a channel strike because he posted another one of his male counterparts email address and full name on his community section because the males were fighting with each other. And before y'all say anything, the only reason this came across me is because I've been watching these DD trials. And as you watch the DD trials, the algorithm will use that and send you a ton of other content that it thinks that you might like. And this guy literally posted, like an idiot, he posted the email address, the full name and everything of the guy that he was like duking it out with online, and they flagged his channel for it. That just reminded me of that story because I just saw that like 2 or 3 days ago. So I guess that would be, maybe that's what that doxing thing would be. But yeah, I heard that a lot of them are doing that. 2025 said that he wants women in public life, no jobs. Yeah, that's what I think too. It seems to me like they're very actively working towards. This is what I'm saying. I feel like Korea is the example for that. You know, like we say, like males can, they just don't want to. True. But that's where it's going to end up. It's going to look just like Korea, where the males, even till today, they don't view women as human beings. They view women as complete objects. It doesn't matter that the birth rates keep plummeting. It doesn't matter that all of these things keep happening. They don't care, you know. They want women to be objects no matter what. No matter what, they want women to be objects, right? So yeah, so thank y'all for joining me today. Thanks for keeping me appraised of the lingo, the lingo out in these YouTube streets or online streets. Because I'm not, with all this lingo and stuff, I'm not really well appraised of them and their technicalities. Yeah, it took away the voting rights of 70 million women and say that. Yeah, I know. I addressed that in one of my other lives where it's like, you know, the women are losing their rights. And a lot of these pick-me-shas think it's a game. You know, they think it's a game. But anyways, y'all, so I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm going to go get some food. Love you so much. Check out the membership section. Yeah, and leave it in the comments below. Keep me appraised of all the cool online lingo, YouTube lingos and stuff. I'll post in the community section and stuff, and we'll go from there. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.